Good evening, all ELU enjoyers. It is me, your solo man for right now. It is me, Mr. Nitro Dax. I'm going to be your solo caster for this game. Unfortunately, no other casters are able to make it right now, which is very unfortunate. And but yeah, should be in for a good hands. Don't worry, I won't leave you behind like that. As draft has already started, apparently. All right. Well, going straight to draft. Sorry about that. TPP did ban away Viego, Tom Kenshin, Misfortune. New York Mutants banned away Rel, Cassiopeia, and Nautilus, and then insta pick the Trundle, actually. And now TPP is going to respond with a J4 jungle pick locked in, unless it could be potentially top. By the way, Jazz, the screen is not updated on the stream. All right. Now it is also going to be an Urgot hover for the side of TPP as well, Nephil. The Urgot one trick, as many of our top laners are in this league, that will be locked in right then and there. Now New York Mutants with the two counter responses on the blue side, they did power pick the Trundle. So that is a nice Trundle pick for Solomon Khan, one of his comfort champions, especially as we've seen so far in the league itself. But now it's going to be really interesting to see what's going to happen right now. And it's going to be Mordekaiser locked in as well. So top side is clear. Right now, Minisoka will be playing that Mordekaiser into Urgot matchup, which is become a skill matchup pseudo, but it is always harder for Mordekaiser due to just me remembering the matchup. And then we have right now Lucian locked in on the side of New York Mutants. So there's no Nami. So it isn't interesting how you're going to put a Lucian into this team comp because now you have a very short range team comp. I probably would have liked to see something maybe a little longer range, like a Caitlyn, potentially. That would have been nice. I hold on a second. I'm being DM'd. Sorry about that. And that's going to be the Zaya response, which is a very good comfort pick for ISO Square. I think he is the Zaya player of all the ELU members. Next bans are going to be coming in the Nami and Malphite for the side of TPP, and it's going to be Silas banned away on New York, but I don't understand the Malphite ban. Actually, no, I do understand it because God of Anubis did actually play it. Actually did play it beforehand. My bad. I do realize why they did it. Okay, that works. Now we're going to have Diana also banned away as well. Hey, Soko.
Okay.
Thank you very much for joining us here as we're now very deep into this draft phase. On the final four picks right now, TPP looking to the R4, possibly a top laner. Or, oh, wait, they already have their top laner. Whoops. Sorry, so used to my team. That's going to be the Alistar lock-in as well. So bot lane is confirmed, but we still don't know if that Lucian is a flex pick mid or it's a flex pick ADC.
Yeah, and I think that's probably one of the reasons why they're saving R5 counterpick for Wyke Wazowski in the mid lane. They kind of have a pretty solid identity on the side of TPP's comp. A lot of engage with Alistair Jarvan, good scaling with the Zaya and Urgot.
And while Brick
it seems like they're
Machine
going to win skirmishes.
and while Brick Machine isn't playing tonight as well, they are having a substitute and they are going to have the same person playing. You're virtually the same champions as Brick would play, so it's like they really don't even have them gone.
Yeah, it doesn't seem to mess up their team comp too much, since they are able to still pick the Jarvan, which they've run before. I'm more interested in Vladimir coming out.
So we know now it's a Lucian bot. So it's Lucian Lulu, the double L's bot lane, with a Vladimir mid blind.
Yeah.
That's going to be a first time Wyke playing Rise. Okay.
This is interesting. They have TPP definitely has less mid game skirmish. I know when Wyke's on stuff like Silas, It's a lot easier for them to skirmish in the mid game. Rise hits his spikes a little later, but I don't think that's anything that they're going to be worried about since they're going to just be playing for big 5v5s around objectives. They just don't have to force unnecessary fights. And I think that unnecessary or fights that aren't around objectives that aren't 5v5 are probably the best way for NYM to get ahead in this game.
I agree. I do think if you're looking at this as a pure team fighting comp, TPP kind of do have that identity of they have the two engagers right then and there, and then you also have potentially the Rise Ultimate as another engage tool possibly, so that way you can get into better positionings, but that could also, work against you as well. Rise Ult is one of those abilities in the game that can benefit you, but also hurt you the most. I would like to see how this top lane matchup will go because that would be very telling on how this game will be going to me. Honestly, is if this Mordekaiser can beat this Urgot and see that if that does happen, then the Urgot threat is really gone. And
Yeah.
Urgot in this team comp would be huge because not many people on his team can burst him down. You have Lucian that needs sustained damage. Vladimir is the burst champion, but if Vladimir is behind, that's not really much. You do have Trundle Subjugate, which does help against Urgot and helps make him a less tanky character, but I don't think much would happen from that as well.
Yeah, I was going to say that Subjugate and the true damage off Riftmaker, which Mordekaiser will likely be buying as his mythic, are probably the only two things you're going to have for big tank shred. So if the Urgot doesn't get behind, he's going to be a menace in any objective fights. And the Alistair, no matter where he is with that damage reduction, they're still going to have a hard time cutting through him.
Mm-hmm. So it is going to be interesting. We have two substitutes. We have Mr. Machizo on his other account, God of Anubis, playing Lulu. Should be interesting. And then we have High M Ditto, an actual subpool member that will be playing on it. So looking based off team comps alone and how they play, who do you think in your eyes wins?
I'm going to say with this team comp, I think it's just more around TPP's comfort. They're just stuff they're used to. They're not going to be hampered by the substitute. Like you were saying earlier, they played with J4 before. Even though they have a bit more scaling than usual, it doesn't. I don't see it hampering their team fights or their micro play at all. And also NYM's bot lane being a Lucian Lulu, I don't think they're going to be able to play aggro into this Alistair Zaya of ISO and Scalian. I just think that the picking a Lucian in a lane where you're not going to be able to abuse the early power of him and scaling into a Zaya where Zaya's just going to outscale you is going to be pretty rough. So unless they get a big advantage topside, it's gonna swing in the way of TPP pretty quickly, I think.
I agree. I feel as if TPP, they did have a misstep, losing that game, that series against TKK. But I do think that they're able to perfectly recover, and this should be a nice bounce back. And it should be, honestly, a return for form for them.
Yeah, I can agree with that. I think that they set themselves up perfectly in the draft, and now they just have to execute on it, which they usually don't have any trouble with. So
Yeah, they usually never
exciting to
have
see.
any trouble with that. They're very good. The only issue I could potentially see at this game is if Vladimir does get too ahead with the Mordekaiser. That is that spells trouble for TPP.
Right. That's
But
that's essentially their win con, I would say.
yeah,
Bot
I
lane
would
isn't gonna
essentially
get
say
ahead.
it's Mordekaiser and Vladimir are ahead, bot lane's even, and jungle is slightly ahead. We know Solomon Khan. He is very good in the jungle role. I think he is the second or first best jungler, depending on the day. And he really is able to exert a lot of jungle pressure as well. So it would be up to the substitute to see how he performs.
Yeah, especially on the Trundle pick, which is picked a lot. There's really not a lot Jarvan can do in the isolated 1v1. Neither of these mid laners are good early game duelists. So if it comes down to scuttle fights, it's really going to be whichever side lane has prio. The 2v2 seems a little janky, but I do think that NYM wins the mid jungle 2v2. So we're going to have to see when 3 minutes 15 seconds comes around what they're doing in terms of pathing and crab prio. That's going to kind of give, if Solomon gets a big CS advantage or maybe even a double crab on Ditto, he's going to be able to start snowballing that lead because he knows what to do when he gets that gold.
Okay. I do think, yeah, I don't know, because Vladimir and Rise are both low damage early game.
Yeah.
But the Trundle does just outbeat J4, so I do see them winning the 2v2 mid jungle matchup. It's also going to be interesting bot lane to see how this Lulu polymorphs are really going to affect the Alistar engages as well. Because
we have to see what they do about that. That's a good point.
polymorph is a humongous spell into TPP. Because that champion is no longer there for 2.5 seconds. So if J4 engages, trying to instant engage and gets polymorphed, he has to either turn tail and run or still engage at 20-30% HP, hope the Gore Drinker heals enough to set up enough damage for the rest of his team as well to go into the fight, set up the Rise combos, set up the Xayah Feathers, possibly with the ultimate and still needing to be burned, and the Alistar re-engage combos to help confirm those as well. But I do think that knowing these teams, it's going to be really entertaining, and hopefully New York Mutants will help give us a good show here as the Arcane Jace will stare at us in the eyes as Act 2 was released
loading screen,
today. Looking at all those summoner spells, nothing interesting. It's Airy, Xayah, so it is going to be a
Lethality Xayah.
Predator Vladimir.
Okay,
I did say a comment earlier in my own personal stream, if anybody was there, about Predator runes. I'm not going to repeat it here again because it's very inappropriate.
No,
but
it's big. It's gaining ground. It's been picked a lot in Korea and LCK, and it makes sense. It's a lot of utility, and just being able to make quick early map rotations with the.
I agree. I died to somebody because they predatored out of my combo.
Well, yeah, the stuff like that's why they take the rune.
Thank you, Jess.
Thank you.
Come on, man. I thought we were past that moment. I'm sorry, Ruckus. Yeah, it was just a really funny moment. So it is actually going to be a tier rise, which is normal. D-Blade Lucian, and it's going to be Longsword Xayah, of course. Don't think anything else was expected there. Lulu not going to go for the brace. Not going to go for the last hit support item. Is going to go for the poke support item, which I think Lulu, if she does take the last hitting support item with Guardian, is possibly a lot better here.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think that they need to survive engages, and Airy just isn't really going to help with that.
Well, Airy is good. It's just that it's not the best, possibly.
Yep.
But it looks like it's 2-5 points. Both teams warded the exact same bush. I think almost at the exact same time as well. So, not much will happen. It's going to be both a bot start for both junglers here. And we're going to go ahead and get started into this game one properly. So, stakes that are on this line. This is a first place match continuation for New York Mutants. They need to 3-0 this series in order for them to keep the streak of holding first place continuity alive. They do drop 1 or 2 games, then they lose a lot of momentum in keeping that first place position as well. And another team like TPP can come in and potentially steal that.
Yeah, this game does have important implications. But if they even happen to take one game out of the series due to how they've done in the past weeks, they're definitely looking pretty solid for maybe for a top 3 finish.
Yeah, this is really huge ramifications into the standings here because first place and fifth place is the difference is 4 games. So if it's a 3-0 here by TPP, then that puts New York Moons at 12-6 and TPP at 11-4, which puts them
There's
instantly
the
in second.
early engage we were talking about, and
Oh,
blue
yep,
is
sorry
dead.
about that. It's not going to be enough, and it's going to be first blood on the side of Zaya. Sorry, I was looking at the sheet. I was not able to do that.
Yeah,
Very
no
sorry.
worries. That's fine. They just hit level 2 first. That's something TVP's Bowling been doing very consistently.
Oh,
And before
speaking
we
of
talk
that,
about that,
Neffel
let's.
wasted his E.
Oh,
Actually, he doesn't have it yet. Still has the flash. Will flash now. I feel like that was a Solomon Khan flash confirmed kill, but it won't happen like that. Now, there is something interesting to note. Zaya did use flash, confirming that kill. 3 summoner spells bot lane used. Alistar does have his flash, though, still. Probably does have the Hex flash. So it's not too big.
yeah, a lot of early game action going on. TPP, their bot lane is always pushed for the level 2 first and look to fight level 2 versus level 1. They always seem
Neffel
to get a
insta
good
teleports
advantage.
top inside in front of Mini Soko's face. Only takes a Q isolated damage in retaliation.
I mean, enforcing out the TP that early is definitely good for Minisoko. We were talking that they had to win the top lane, top side of the map, and so far the 3 camp clear by Solomon allowed him to get top scuttle, splitting the map. Ditto got bottom scuttle, and Solomon's going to clear down. It seems like Solomon's a little behind because he did go for the top gank, but it put his top laner in a good spot. So we'll see if it was worth it in the coming minutes, I suppose.
Should be. Yeah,
Great trade.
and it's the problem now is Urgot is a bit telegraphed with the E's now. So while he does get the shield to mitigate some of the damage, he does take a little bit of a beating still. Ooh, hits him with the perfect edge Q there, the Mordekaiser for 127. Which is a bit insane considering how early in the game we are, but
Yep.
granted it is isolated, so.
All right, we do need to watch out for
Oh,
the dark
Scalene's
top.
immediately gonna go on to Hextech right there. That's another polymorph onto Alistar. Not able to get the stun off. Takes a huge trade. That's a flash right there. Top lane as well. Mini Soko is in possibly a huge amount of trouble. There is the W shield to help survive. Does burn the flash top. We'll have to probably waste the teleport now. They have to figure Solomon Khan must be bot side or something like that because they're playing extremely aggro.
Yeah, I
Nice
mean, 2
vision
plays coming
coverage
out
here.
on both sides of the map from TPP. Jungler's top. They're able to force out the flash. Minisoko did not actually recall. He's able to catch the wave under tower. We'll see what he ends up doing now.
Oh, Scalene is now going to go in, but now there's a Trundle right there. That's another polymorph. The pillar does not trap ISO, but does force Scalene's flash.
Lots going on in this early game. Not
Oh,
a lot of kills,
Minisoko
however,
didn't
so
back
far.
either.
Yeah, he still hasn't recalled. He's still saving the TP, and he still has the 5 CS leads. So I guess he's just waiting for an ideal moment. Toad losing out on some trades mid, but
It's Vladimir. He'll sustain it.
exactly.
He will be TPing back though to lane. This should be a good reset for Wyke. Sorry, almost I almost said hot dog. I know it's Wyke. But I do think 6 advantage here would happen to Mordekaiser first and possibly has to push that advantage. He may not know the XP of Urgot and is scared of the Urgot potential engage, but if I'm Mordekaiser here, yeah, I just got 6. I just shove the wave in most likely back, teleport back to lane, or just save my teleport for this dragon fight that's happening right now as they're going to start it up in the bot lane, Infernal Dragon.
Yeah.
Just being done by the side of TPP's bot lane, and so far no response from anyone on the side of New York Mutants.
They're just not in a position to contest. They didn't have the recall timers, they didn't have resets, and they didn't have the vision. So the first strike looks like it's going to go to TPP.
Yep, right there, confirmed. 6:20 on the dot.
Another
Confirmed
good
that as the first dragon taken. So Soul will be about a good 21 minutes potentially on the side of TPP. Nuffle is extremely low, does not have the teleport back up yet. We'll have to greed for this wave just to try and make sure he doesn't fall too behind. But Nuffle is sort of playing with fire there, but Thankfully, Mordekaiser does cue the minions and not him for the extra damage.
Nefel's really low on mana. We could see a dive topside, but
It's a potential dive, but I don't think Mordekaiser has the damage enough yet. He was still on Dorn Shield.
yeah, that's true. He hasn't taken his recall yet.
Hextech is going to walk into Alistar. He knew exactly he was there, and now here's Ditto forcing the flash as well. That's another flash follow as well. The Scalene will not be able to. Ditto will fall, actually.
What a trade by NYM's bot lane, and the play's still going on.
Oh, Hextech is actually going to take a lot of Q damage there. Oh, man, I feel like ISO didn't have the E there. Would have done a lot more for that team fight and potentially killed Hextech. But now he is able to recall with his life, and that is a trade kill that was a 2v3. But here's Solomon. Hextech doesn't want to back. He wants to try and farm as much as he can. Does get the level 6.
I would just ult the wave. Yeah.
Okay, he will ult the wave as well. He will ult ISO as much as he can with the culling, and we'll be able to back now. Did by the pickaxe. Now is a potential kill added there. Serrated Turk on this side of ISO Square. Toad going to be taking some bad trades as Mr. Vladimir is not available yet this early in the game. But he should be available soon. Just call back in about 10 to 15 minutes. You know, he'll answer the phone. It always goes to voicemail.
The thing about that bot play that we just saw is Scaling used his Alistar combo before the Jarvan ulted, and after the Jarvan ult, Alistar has no way of getting into the Cataclysm. So even though he trapped Lulu and Lucian, Alistar didn't even do anything while they were in there. It was just Xayah autos and Jarvan.
Another engage right there by Scalene. That's going to be knocking up too. Polymorph is the instant response, but it's just nice vision denial on the side of TPP here. They are trying to choke out as much vision as they can, so that way they can get another early dragon or another play where they can get the jump on them.
Yeah, controlling the vision on the bot side really well. That's going to be really important in 2 minutes when the Mountain Drake comes up. They're really hoping for a good soul here, just because their top side is not losing hard. Mid lane's actually winning, and the top jungle, there's a slight lead for NYM, but they'd like to keep it that way and get as much of a lead bot side as they can.
And it's not going to be Infernal, or it's not going to be Mountain, because a potential Cloud or Ocean, which
obviously the Ocean would be preferred, especially given TPP's comp here with how much team fight they have.
I could see that. I could also see the argument for Cloud itself. Scalene is level 6. This is the dive right here. You are going to take it. That's going to be the Polymorph instant cleanse. CC is there. God of Anubis will flash back under tower. ISO takes huge damage right there. And here is Mini Soko actually. ISO is in a really bad spot now. Oh, the Q is there. We'll be able to hit it. That's going to be the Blade. Collar is down. We'll secure that one. ISO will fall right now. Scalene.
That flash was a little ill-advised. I don't think he had any chance of getting out, but
now can Scalene run for his life, or is he roast beef? Minisoko does have the flash, chooses now to flash it, but it will be knocked back with the aftershock. Neffel now just gonna get put off the tower by Solomon Khan. He will clear that entire wave himself and claim as much as he can. Don't talk about it, says Minisoko. I won't, says Scalene.
2 kills going over to the Xayah for both her sums and the kill to Mordekaiser. I think the Xayah does not mind that trade, to be honest. Lucian also loses the entirety of the wave under tower, and, well, Xayah gets to pick up this whole wave that is...
That's nice eclipse damage as well right there on the Hextex. He is actually super low. Blade Color was used, but this is the subjugate top lane right now. Neffel is getting smaller and smaller with each subjugating tick, and that's just going to be the whack for the confirmed kill. But bot lane actually had another kill go down where the Xayah just 1v2s that bot lane. God of Anubis not having ultimate, not probably in position or anything to do anything there. But Hextech dies for free.
Yeah, I mean, the clips to all components for the Lucian is just something that they should not be walking up into. They're still disrespecting it and taking a little too much damage. They have to just sit back and farm until they get their first items at least.
Now, Rift Herald is being started on the side of New York Mutants, but Dragon is
Could see a
pretty
dive.
much gone. I don't think you can try and contest it as well. Alistar Ultimate is back up and ready to go. J4, they know he's bot side now. They know he's probably going to be called for this dive as well. This tower has not been standing for much longer, it seems, as now that's going to be the flash forward by Neffel onto Mini Soko. A very ambitious flash.
Yeah, I think he thought maybe Minnesota would take tower aggro, but he actually didn't auto him with anything, and he doesn't have brambles, so he didn't take any tower shots. That play definitely did not go the way Neffel wanted, and now he's half HP with no flash, no ult, and almost no tower.
That was very unfortunate for the side of Neffel there, but bot lane is able to constantly shut back in, and now this is going to be the J4 dive. This is 12 minutes into the game. Ooh, Scaling does actually unfortunately miss that single combo, but it won't matter as this is just being dove between two towers. What do you do if you're being dove between your inner and inhibitor at 13 minutes?
I mean, not much. They have no way to respond because Solomon was top side to respond to the Urgot play.
Urgot that's actually going to be a nice little ultimate right there on Mordekaiser. Neffel, you don't have the flash, you don't have much escape, and that's going to be the big bonk top, and that would be a killing spree on Mini Soko.
Yep, that's all a result of the misplay where he blew his flash and his ult. And it
looks like that's huge damage right there. Is Toad not going
to... Ooh. Just this little misplay from Toad. His ult doesn't end up hitting, I don't believe.
He didn't ult. He actually didn't ult.
He did not ult at all, actually. Okay.
He just didn't ult. Very ambitious there. Now the Rise is mega ahead in this lane. 40 CS up and now a kill up. Mini Soko just choosing to walk away, even though he probably was fine with the recall there.
Once he saw the Xayah feathers, he did not want a part of that.
He just ran away, quaking in fear.
As one does from a 5-1 Xayah with Eclipse, yes.
Of course. Now this is going to be very interesting. Pretty much non-existent mid lane games. Both have just been pretty much farming, except for that single misplay that Toad just did. There hasn't been anything done at all.
Yeah, I think that just shows a little bit of experience difference where both mid laners have to scale, and it seemed like Toad got a little impatient trying to look for a lead when he was falling behind in XP, but Mike responded just fine. He's playing the lane very patiently and knows that he has to wait.
Hextech does have the Kraken Slayer now, trying to do as much as he can. Everfrost is completed for the Rise. And now it is going to be very hard for Solomon Khan to try and do what he can. Top laner is getting invaded by the bot lane this late in the game, and that's going to be actually nice damage right there. Super huge! Ooh. And his life is saved by the calling! Oh my god, Neffel can't catch a break this game.
A lot of unlucky plays going for Neffel. Lula does end up burning flash and ult, however, after the fact. So maybe that can have further implications. But
it's actually nice little damage right there. Subjugate is dropped, but not much else will happen. Mini Soko taunting with the Mordekaiser guitar. But it is going to be very huge for this Rise later into the game, as now he is just kind of mega fed. Allowed to do what he wants. Fully stacked tier already. Xayah almost there herself. Just needs about 51 mana. Not much was going to happen there. Sorry, I was just waiting to see if we would have gotten a play.
Yep.
And now Scalene will be going ahead and clearing more vision around here. Mid lane, it is a 3-1. 3-2 right now, actually. As Rise is covering bot, just trying to make sure nothing else happens. But there's 4 mid here. That's going to be a nice little bump there onto Xayah. But mid tower still stands. Barely, but it is standing. It's going to be
trying to catch out Scalene, but nothing's going to come of it.
Nothing will come of it. Now, Jarvan hasn't really been able to farm for the past couple minutes. Was that 90 CS about 3 minutes ago and is only at 95 now. That's just because his team requires him, you know. He's giving up the CS so that way his team can be, in a position to do a lot better. And now Toad is about almost 50 CS down, even though he is parlaying with the Urgot.
Yeah, the
Trying his
third
best to do what he
dragon
can. This is
spawning
going to be
right now.
Dragon right there.
It's
Engage.
something
Minisoko is
onto
going to
Zaya.
ultimate the Zaya right now. That's going to be huge engage on the bottom side, though. God of Anubis, there is no hope for saving you this time. Hextech will now go ahead and call the wrong way on the Zaya, but going for the main damage source on the team. This is going to be a huge team wipe. The side of TPP, Neffel will try his best to confirm that Hextech kill. Will be able to get it eventually, and that is a 4-for-1 on the side of TPP.
Well, there's the team fight that we knew that the comp was built around. Mordekaiser takes out the Zaya, the strongest member of the team, and when all 4 other members collapse at the same time, it's still hard for them to do anything. They didn't get the lead in other places.
The unfortunate part is Mordekaiser is your most fed member on your team. So if he's old, you're also losing your most fed member. Which is very unfortunate. But now it is going to be... Vladimir does need a lot more time here to scale. Just now finishing that rocket belt. Still has that dark seal on. See what can happen now. Rise is going to back right now. Probably buy some nice items.
Yeah, they all get to recall. Rise completes the Seraphs.
Archangel staff now completed. So we'll level up though, but don't think much is going to be able to happen here. New York Mutants are kind of in a bind. Almost down about 5k right now. It's only about 19 minutes. The game is not over, of course, but it is going to get much harder for you to find a successful pick here.
Yeah. TPP has a much easier to execute comp in terms of what the engage has to do. They simply have to go onto the damage, go onto the Lucian, onto the Lulu, and Trundle and Mordekaiser won't be enough damage to kill the entire team.
Aileen is actually kind of caught here right now. Does able to use the flash. There's the culling. Will drop the Alistar ult, but I believe it may be too little too late as huge Solomon Khan damage is there. That will be one traded kill. That's going to be the instant Mordekaiser ultimate onto Hot Dog Bunblade. Won't be able to hit the Qs much at all. Mordekaiser now is backing out in the middle of the team. This is super low HP bars. That's going to be the flash route. Is it going to be enough on Minisoko? Yes, it will eventually be able to kill him now. God of Anubis has to try his best to run. Will be able to get away for at least 5 seconds longer, but that's going to be a huge Hextech wipe as well. ISO Square in the top side of the map will be able to kill Toad with the Airy proc as well. Another ace on the side of TPP. 2 minutes straight after the other one, and it's another 4-for-1.
Yeah, again, they're executing on what their comp does. This time it was just an overextend by New York. They thought they could get the Alistar kill, but they couldn't punch through him quick enough. With his health and the Alistar ult and the Locket all combined, just they weren't able to do enough damage before the team got there.
And granted, J4 was top getting Rift Herald, so that was a 4v5 ace.
Yeah, the Rise is now mega accelerated after getting all those kills. Same with the Zaya. They're hitting their spikes extremely quickly, and what we thought was going to be scaling a lot harder is now spiking in the 20-minute range, and it seems like they're going to get a pick here, actually.
Oh, Neffel is actually maybe in a bad spot, but that's Rise right over the wall. Solomon Khan won't get that guaranteed shutdown. Wyke is potentially in a really bad spot. Solomon Khan may be the sacrificial lamb. Hextech is going to go in, dodges the Q right there. That's going to be a trade back, but Lucian will get the 1000k to himself. Buys Ninja
gold in Lucian's pocket is definitely something you want. He's pretty far behind, but he is going to be one of your.
That is going to be Baron. Baron is instantly started in a response as they did have to send multiple bot. The Baron is being done relatively slow here. I do think TPP may just call this off, as now they know for sure New York will be coming soon. Actually, they're going to commit to teleport for this. 2 teleports have been used so far. This is going to be another engage right there. Solomon Khan is just getting pushed out by this Alistar. That's going to be the possibly huge engage right there. There
And
it
it's
is, and
stolen.
that's going to be Solomon Khan with the secure steal. They will get a kill out of it as well. This is going to be a huge team fight for the side of New York, potentially trying to save the game in their favor. But that's going to be Hot Dog Bunblade teleporting in from the bottom side of the fight to try and secure that. The Rise ultimate to secure their lives.
Ooh, yeah, it was a 4v4 at Baron.
2 for 2, but Baron going to the side of New York Mutants, a huge steal, just trying to delay the game as much as possible.
That was definitely something New York needed. The side of TPP was just getting way too accelerated, and this is...
Toad is there, spotted right now. The Urgot ultimate is there, but it won't matter. The flash to secure it.
Yeah, they don't have any real vision in their bot side. TPP can honestly just go wherever they want right now with the lack of vision.
Oh, Solomon. Neffel is spotted. It's going to be the instant subjugate, and Neffel is the sacrificial lamb once again as Dragon is now being instantly started here. This is another huge fight. Neffel won't be here for this one. 4k HP. Trundle not going to be able to join this pit. Red team will secure it. TPP does now have the Ocean Soul, which is going to be huge for them to try and deplete as much damage as possible. This Rise is so ahead. He is almost Horizon Flame. He is Horizon Flame Horizon his own teammates. Thank you.
Yeah, anytime. Well, this is what one would call a rough spot. They Neffel does have 5 deaths, and it may seem like he's getting caught out, but it really doesn't matter. He's really not the main engage is just Jarvan and Alistar, and the 2 main carries, Ryze and Xayah, are just so hyper accelerated. They can honestly 4v5 at this point. Neffel can probably sit in a side lane threatening towers the whole game, and they can 4-1 or 1-3-1 with the Ryze in the other side lane and just slowly whittle down the base. I believe that's probably what they're going to do.
I agree. You've been hanging out with Storm too much. As now they're going to... Yep, as now they're actually going to send all 5 here top. That's going to be a nice little engage right there on the Trundle. Subjugate is used, trying to do his best right there. There's the instant QSS from Mordekaiser, and he will fall.
Yeah, Xayah did make the... she paid the tax, and it seems to be well worth it.
Did pay the tax. Scaling Circle is going to be a really nice engage right there onto 2. And this is a huge Urgot execute ultimate onto the Lulu as well. Toad drops the ultimate, barely heals for about 400 on a 4-man ultimate, which is really not what you expect to see of a Vladimir 25 minutes into the game. And now the Nexus towers are under threat. The inhibitor is gone. You know you can't protect them much anymore. They will back off after getting it, trying their best to delay as much as they can, but at this point, this is a slow choke for New York Mutants.
Yeah, trying to find a way back into this game is going to be difficult. They are down Soul. Their only bet is coin flipping Elder Drake, getting a steal, and then somehow winning the fight. But I don't see anyone getting within Elder execute range in any of these past fights. So even that is a little shaky. They can't really look for Baron ever, and I think they're just gonna Rise TP down, push bot wave, get the bot inhib, and they'll keep getting rid of the base. It really seems like they got too many lane advantages on the side of TPP in the bot and mid lane.
Very true. The Alistar combos were very on point for the side there.
As you would expect from Scaling.
As you would expect from the best support in the league. As now it is going to be very interesting to see how this desperate defense works. Lucian is mid. It's 5 TPP bot. They know for sure Vladimir and Lucian aren't here, so they have to give this up. A bit of a miscommunication right there as J4 is going to taunt his way. Though he is the squishiest member on his team, he will die.
Yeah, took a chunk, but I think he's going to heal that up in no time by just dropping Demacian standards onto him, getting the ocean drag healing.
So that's now 2 down. They're going to go ahead and get mid control, try to shove out as much as they can.
Yeah,
Push for this mid inhibitor. Now there'll be double supers in every lane while the Baron will be done. 40 seconds. Can Solomon get another miracle steal?
Well, we see both solo laners have to be defending the super wave top here, and they're just escorting this wave in. I think they're not even gonna push for tower. Yeah, they're just gonna go to the Baron on spawn. TPP has to respond to the super minions coming in on either side wave. So I mean NYM, my apologies, has to respond to the super minions. So
they know for sure. They see you right there. Minisoga's going to be the first one engaged on. There's the flash away. Solomon Khan using the subjugate. Neffel is in right now by himself. This is going to be huge Mordekaiser damage, trying to do as much as he can. Scaling Circle is now going to be in. This is the J4 fight. This was your shot, your chance, and this is going to be a huge wipe on the side of TPP. Toad, the final survivor, just dancing his way to his own hearts. And now with the supers in the base, both sides crashing down, this is going to be game 1 secured on the side of TPP.
Yeah,
almost a perfect 28 minutes, exactly of what you expect of TPP in their form, and they will take game 1.
I mean, just great execution from TPP. They drafted a comp with clear identity, clear execution, and they executed on it properly. Neffel was kind of left on an island, but when you pick this strong of a combo on the rest of the map, the Urgot doesn't really need to be ahead. He just has to be even, and that's what he was. So props to TPP. Definitely a really clean performance by all their players, including the subs.
It was very unfortunate for the side of New York as well, because New York was just slowly getting choked out across the map. Mid lane as well. Mid lane was relatively peaceful for the first 14 minutes, but still, it was a huge CS lead already. It was about 35-40 on the side.
When Toad made that slight misplay in mid lane that caused the first kill to go over to Wyke, he just probably noticed that he was losing out on CS. Wyke was just managing his waves a little bit better, playing the trades a little better, and I mean, had it kept going, the lead would have ballooned anyways, but just a desperation play there to try and maybe get a kill back and even out the gold, and it didn't swing his way. So unlucky on the side of NYM. They just weren't able to stop TPP's advances across the map, really.
Very unlucky. But we are going to go ahead, and I think they are already making draft. They've already made the draft links for Game 2 drafts. Yeah. I think they have. So New York Mutants has elected to take red side now.
Elected to tech the red side, yeah.
Yeah, they're teching. It's the tech.
It's a tech. The tech is taking red side for the R3, R5 counter picks. And I guess they think they're going to get more value out of that than out of their blue side first pick. Their first pick in the last draft was the Trundle. And it didn't... While he did do his due diligence in terms of what he had to do, got the Mordekaiser ahead, Vladimir really wasn't able to do much. And he didn't really put the Jarvan behind. So there wasn't too much power gain from picking Trundle B1. I guess that's why they want to take red side, try and get more favorable matchups, and
is the other team ready? I want to make sure first. Waiting for one. Okay, well, we'll just talk about the game and then they'll be back. So, I do think it was really good to see the Mordekaiser confidence pick into the Urgot, and while it did win, because you can't say that it lost, it really was just... It was a lot of unfortunate plays as well for the side of Neffel, but I do think Mordekaiser overall did win the lane as
Yeah.
well. It was just really, as well, very unfortunate for the side of Toad, who was really just left on an island and kind of just got strangled. I mean, there was no early fights, there was no 2v2 fights with the jungle. The Trundle didn't really invade the J4
Yep.
as well. J4 dreading that gank bot. And while it did turn sour, of course it set the precedent for it. And now I do think New Yorkians, you just reset your mental, you get back into this game, and you try your best to hold out. As now we go instantly right back into draft right now. First ban away on TPP is the Viego.
Viego ban from Solomon.
Respect ban. Respect ban.
Ralph from Scalene.
Always a respect ban when two of the best at their positions play. Tom Kinch banned away from Minisoko. No team will allow him to have that champion again.
One of his staple picks, definitely.
One of his better, very good picks, definitely. Unless he decides to play Kale, then we may get the 1-8 Kale performance from Minisoko, or we can get the 10-2 Kale performance, you know? Kind of depends on the day.
A little bit of variance.
Does variant like that. Misfortune ran away on the side of New Yorkians as well. Malphite, the final ban on TPP for the first half of bans.
I like to see the Misfortune ban into blue side. It's something that is
Urgot
really
ban.
strong V1, and even after the nerfs.
Huh. So even though they did beat the Urgot, they just don't want to face it against again. J4 now going to be the first pick on the side of TPP. They may just run the same comp again with just a different top laner, because Kled is not banned either way. I feel Neffle's much more comfortable.
Like Kled, yeah. It would definitely work in a similar manner. He'd just be top lane while Jarvan gets stuff done across the map. They definitely liked how the Jarvan plays, and they seem to like how easy Jarvan is to execute. So
Lux. Okay, so Lux is going to be picked again. We most likely assume this is a mid Lux, but support Lux is also potentially really well if they do pair it with something like a Caitlyn. Could become very oppressive.
And
Trundle also going to be picked away.
Oh, as we were talking about last time, Trundle does win isolated against Jarvan. He just didn't take a lot of advantage of that matchup. We'll see if he can do something else this time. We know he knows how to impact lanes, but if you can't stop the Jarvan from ganking freely, it's going to be it might snowball out of control again. And speaking on the Lux pick, that is I do like that. It gives them disengage, which is something they didn't have really in the last
all right, so they are going to pick Diana. So I assume that's Wyke mid Diana.
Wyke's very comfortable on Diana. Similar to Silas, similar in playstyle at least. So he definitely likes having this pick. It spikes earlier than Rise, like we were talking about. Good skirmishing and good 5v5 team fighting.
And there's the Nautilus pick as well. So Scaling will get his signature.
Indeed. Looks like the comp is still really what TPP wants.
AP threat, J4. Engage support.
Yeah.
So
they're saving their top and bot
set now locked in as well.
This could be support or top, or even mid. Honestly, we don't really know.
I think it's top. I believe it's top. I'm not exactly sure.
I suppose it is a flex since they haven't picked their top yet, so they do have that going for them.
They do. It's going to be a Xayah ban as well, so they are going to pitch the ADC pool. Hextech will not get the Lucian again. So now really, you got to try and understand what are the potential picks here for TPP. They have ADC and top open. Does Neffel go to tank duty or Tristana banned away from ISO Square? I don't think I've seen ISO Square. I think I've seen ISO Square play Tristana.
I'm not sure if he's played it in the league, but he does have good win rate on it, good KDAs. He definitely knows how to play the champ, and it does go well with Nautilus. So I like seeing that respect ban out. maybe would have liked to see a topside ban, but
Okay, so TPP will also ban away the Lulu. So that's 2 support bans because the Malphite is a support ban.
could also be a top ban. We've seen Minisoko play it once.
I think it's more of a God of Anubis ban.
Yes, it is more for Mr. Machismo. He does have a lot of plays on it.
Now, New York, you did say for R5 counter, Jinx for Hextech. Okay.
So either support or top. Still in the hangs in the balance here. Making full use of that flex pick, making them guess in their B4, B5 picks. Caitlyn, okay. An 80 carry we've seen rise in priority just across the game recently.
I don't love Caitlyn Nautilus, but it could still be very oppressive.
I do think if the Caitlyn places the trap right on the Nautilus Q rooted auto, it's
yes. I don't love it, but it still could be extremely oppressive, and I do expect this balling would be the best example of using that. So Kled is also going to come out.
Yep, Kled like we expected. Neffle's another comfort pick for him, and I assume we're going to be seeing a counter top. The counter top, I think set goes well into Kled, so I assume there's going to be support. And it seems like it's going to be an Alawi top with a set support. Okay. The Alawi prep for the Kled. That didn't take them that long either.
No.
Might have been something that they had in mind, knowing that
Big strong muscle lady will be joining us tonight. Very interesting.
Is this the first big strong muscle lady of ELU?
I don't think so. I think another team played Alawi. I think Neffel played Alawi.
Really?
Yeah. That may have been a scrim, though. I'm not exactly sure.
I can't remember either, but one thing I do know is that this is going to be rather interesting. I actually like the draft ideas coming out. They drafted a lot of counter engage. Alawi needs people to go into her, and Jarvan, Diana, Nautilus, Kled, they all have one mode, and that's engage. So the fact that they engage over an Alawi ult, if she's able to get it off and sustain over the course of the team fight, it's going to be massive. Same with Trundle, who's able to use Subjugate on the frontliners. Lux, who's able to root them and kite back. They have a lot more counter engage and disengage than they did in the last comp, and I think that's what they were drafting for. So I'm actually pretty impressed. New York Mutants drafts has been all around the place, and while this isn't really as completely cohesive, they did still flex the set bot and have a nice pick into the enemy composition. So I like it. I like the draft.
Very interesting news I just got told as well. Niles, the top laner for Golden Guardians, went from professional LCS player to retired. He has just retired.
Niles? No.
Yes.
You're retired. Golden Guardians.
Niles retired at 22.
My favorite Gragas player.
He broke an all-time LCS record for the lowest KDA posted by a non-support player with a mark of 1.1. Said he did not have the time nor commitment to continue to do this, and if you aren't going to be doing that at the top, then why even have a career in the first place? I choose to be with my family instead and my friends, and enjoy the game for what it is, but not grind itself so deeply where I lose focus in life.
Wow. So essentially Niles is saying he's going to go touch some grass instead of play League of Legends.
Yeah, well, he did say more vulgar things using the wording. I just said it the nice way.
Ah. Well, I guess he has his priorities straight.
He just wants to be back on the East Coast, is what I'm seeing.
Let's go.
He didn't like being in LA.
Does anyone like being in LA?
Okay, wait a second. We got a developing story right there. Looking at the draft, so it's not set support.
It's set mid. You're right.
It's set mid with Lux support.
I guess it's similar.
Okay.
The set mid is also. I'm not sure how well it plays into Diana, but it is a melee into melee matchup, and set mid is something people pick to pull out every now and then as a counter, and it seems like it wouldn't do too bad into Diana. definitely stronger in the early levels. And it might neutralize a lot of lane pressure that Diana has. I guess we'll have to see. Jinx Lux is also a lot safer than Jinx Set would have been, so I do like this adaptation as well.
Okay, very nice adaptation on the fly by New York Mutants. I think that took TPP off for a second. They probably just assumed that it would have been a set support.
I mean, I'm not sure. I guess we haven't. Maybe they hadn't seen either any of them play anything. I don't think Toad played Set mid ever. I don't know if we had any games on him, and I'm not sure if Machismios played Lux or Set either. But either way, I guess now they know going into this game what they're gonna have to do. Jinx Lux is pretty safe, but we'll have to see if Scalene and ISO can get a meaningful lead in that bot lane.
Now we are waiting in our 3-minute Rune Prison, as sponsored by Riot Games, as they're going to be going ahead and keeping us locked in here. I am just looking at Twitter rumors about the new LCS teams.
Carry on.
I think CLG is rumored to have an interesting team.
CLG, Counter Logic Gaming.
Yeah, Counter Logic Gaming, you know, the team that always ends 9-10.
Truly Counter Logic. Let's see what they
Yeah.
got.
I think they got rid of everything and just built up straight up from the ground new. Because you hear Counter Logic Gaming, that doesn't exactly inspire confidence in you when you hear of them recently.
This is true. All that comes to mind is disappointment.
Disappointment for the last 3 years? Make sure to flame ISO if he misses trap on a rooted target. Okay, sure thing. Alright.
We were talking that the Caitlyn does have to put the trap in the right spot every time the knowledge gets hooked. So if ISO does miss the trap, we're gonna.
Oh yeah, very interesting. The head coach of G2 is gone.
Yes, Grabs was put up for a buyout of something like 30K or 50K. I'm not sure. And was he picked up by somebody?
No, he just left.
No, he was just completely gone. Okay.
He's just gone. Yeah.
So G2 tried to sell him, they couldn't sell him, and now he's gone.
Yeah.
I believe G2.
So Golden Guardians kind of just shed a lot, actually. Because now Think Card is back to CLG. And they lost, I think, their Academy bot lane. And Dardock, the assistant coach, is now a free agent. For Immortals? Yeah, they're right. I forgot to mention that. I can't believe Dardock went to coaching. So strange.
Yeah, I mean, toxic, I guess.
Just toxic.
So make him a coach so he can flame the players. Was the thought process, I suppose. Don't really know.
Anyway, there have been a ton of rumors. I think the new Golden Guardians lineup. Yeah. Okay. So, an EU jungler, Pride Stalker, will be coming to Golden Guardians. Lost will be coming to Golden Guardians, and Ole will be coming to Golden Guardians. So I don't know what that means for Stixay, and I don't know what that means for Iconic. It's going to be really interesting to see how that team will play out. Thank you very much. All right, we're now locked into game here. Sorry about that. Just looking at interesting things as well. Fleet footwork on the side of Caitlyn. There are going to be no PTA, nothing like that so far. Pretty normal runes. Solomon going PTA this time. I think he went Conqueror last time.
Diana going Electrocute instead of Conquer as well. Something to note.
That's true. So it's a much more bursty Diana, even though it is against the set, and the burst will hurt you if he does aim the W properly. So we are going to start the game as well with a Mountain Dragon. Interesting.
Yeah, it's a good dragon.
So,
buffs your
just
resist.
looking at souls, I think Mountain Dragon would have been perfect for the side of TPP here.
Also for the side of New York, Mountain Soul would have been
Both
amazing.
teams would have actually utilized the Mountain Soul insanely well.
Yeah, it would have been really nice. I guess we'll have to wait to see second Drake spawn to see what souls are going to be options, but
I wouldn't like to see Infernal. Because very little people here would utilize the Infernal well. I think maybe 4 members. And that'd be Caitlyn, Jinx, Lux, and Diana? Potentially?
yes, those guys would probably get the most value out of it. Either way, it's still just adding damage onto TPP's engage. They'd like it.
Yeah,
obviously not as much as other stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd much rather have a Cloud Dragon here. I think Cloud Dragon here is actually really good on the side of TPP.
Yeah, Cloud Drake actually wouldn't be horrible. Very few cases in which you'd prefer that over something else, but seeing a trade top.
It's just a small little trade top, and this is exactly why Lux is really good into Nautilus as well. If you stand behind the minions correctly, that's actually going to be a hook right there. God of Anubis is taking a lot of damage. The Ignite is there. The Flash is there. Hextech trading back as much as he can against ISO. And now it is extremely close bot lane. Both supports are at around 100 HP, getting lower. But Minisoko will test the Soul of Kled, dragging it against the tentacles. Yes, I know the name of the Lowy abilities. Alright. It is actually going to be a nice longsword start for both bot laners as well. Red Smite on the side of J4, Blue Smite on the side of Trundle. It's pretty much the same as last game, I believe. And now we have both mid laner and jungler moving on the side there, trying to get as much Scuttle dominance as they can.
Oh,
they're now pushing for the Gromp. I don't think J4... they don't have any idea. And now Trundle is appearing from his own side. That's a nice pillar to cancel that. The Flash is there. Set will immediately follow the Flash, just not able to get into auto range. A trade of flashes, and it comes out, I believe that he will lose the Scuttle, but bot lane will help secure him bot Scuttle, which is not the end of the world for him. But I think on top of that trade, that is a much more valuable flash right there. Neffel now immediately going to go in here onto Minisoko. He knew the Trundle was still topside. It was done right there. The flash is there. Neffel, I don't think you have the HP to try and fight this. The remount won't matter. First blood on the side of Minisoko with the huge slam.
Wow, I mean, you like to see that adaptation. I do think Neffel should have probably backed off after seeing Solomon and Toad push Ditto off of Scuttle topside, but nonetheless, they do get the kill.
Nice little trade there happening in the mid lane, and now really unfortunate for Neffel as well. Not going to use the teleport. Is able to catch most of the wave he should be able to, but just a little bit of a CS deficit. Yeah, sorry about that. Speaking of CS deficits, if you look at the bot lane, it's about 36-14 right now.
Yeah, there is a big wave coming in for Hectex right now, but it's looking rough. They did the same thing as last game again. They got level 2 first, now look onto the Lux, and the level 2 Caitlyn is just able to zone off of some CS, even by herself. Very impressive execution coming out from ISO and Scalian. Able to get this advantage in a very safe lane, actually, from Hectex.
A lot more aggro lanes that they are playing now. They used to play sort of passive lanes, or they used to play aggro champions sort of passively. Now they've completely adapted to playing a lot more aggressive, which is good, what you like to see. You know, best bot lane in ELU, of course they should play a ton of aggro lanes. Yeah, it's actually going to be a nice little gank here top. Minisoko will flash, but Ditto is here. Minisoko will dodge that. Nice little sidestep. We'll drag the Darwin Test of
Under
Spirit right
tower.
into tower, and that
Wow.
could potentially be a lot of damage. The tentacle won't immediately damage him, though. Hextech is able
And
to grab 9 CS of that huge
right.
wave.
in bot lane, this is what you don't want to see if you're NYM. The wave is all pushing towards TPP, and ISO and Scalene are definitely going to freeze that once it gets closer to the tower. And
Now
once they do
level
that, they're not gonna be able
6
to do anything in
on
terms
the
of
side of ISO, or on the side of Minisoko, sorry.
yeah, that
Iron
Alawi
Spike
pretty
Whip
important.
is completed. It could be a Gore Drinker Alawi.
I think that's the only option. I don't think Stride is going to be doing much this game.
I don't think Stride is either, but I don't think Gore is the choice. Personally, Divine, maybe.
I could
Trinity
see.
Force.
I think Divine is standard, but in this game, when Alawi's whole purpose is to be alting as they come in, she's gonna have the Kled, the Jarvan, the Diana, the Nautilus, all pretty much a melee range of her. The Gordrick is gonna give her a lot of sustain on top of what she already has. So I don't mind this mythic choice a
Even
little.
though it is nerfed Gore Drinker, it is actually going to be Dragon on the side right there. TPP not able to get it in time. The resets weren't there in time, and they will secure it. ISO will go ahead and dodge the Lux Binding. We'll get hit by the E, though. And now Dragon secured on the side of New York, as they also did get first blood. A small little gold lead for them is mounting. Not a big one. So it is Cloud that is also happening this game.
Important
So it could be Infernal or it could be Ocean, which are the two souls you kind of don't want.
I think Ocean for NYM is really good just to survive the initial engage from TPP.
I think Ocean is exactly what you need if you're in New York. I think you rather prefer. Whoa!
The Nautilus
Scalene is
hook goes
actually going to go wide on that hook right now, and this is potentially going to be his death. Hextech is right there. The headshot damage is going through.
it's gonna be a
Solomon
kill.
Khan is there as well to help confirm the kills.
Wow. Okay.
But Caitlyn dies to the minions. And that's going to be nice little damage right there mid. Hot Dog Bun Blade will go back in again. A huge test your spirit. Neffel was demounted because of that.
And Alawi still has ult. Okay. Well,
Alawi could ult. It makes the tentacles invisible.
Riot Games does not want Scalene to hit Nautilus hooks, it looks like that.
Neffel walks back into it again. Neffel has to be super careful right now. It's going to be a nice little engagement in the bot lane. God of Anubis overstayed his welcome. The Lux Shield will not guarantee his safety. He will fall as the Diana roams.
The good thing about this is that Ditto showed bot, and now Neffel does have to recall it just because he's not going to have the protection of not knowing where the jungler is. Minisoko knows Jarvan's on top, and he could just hit away at the tower and force out the TP. There it is. Neffel has TP back.
Actually, a huge CS difference in the top lane.
Yeah.
That's actually going to be a nice little teleport coming in right now. Toad is right there. They will be instantly going on to ISO Square. I don't think he has a chance. There is the face breaker just for the confirmed kill. That was Minisoko's TP. It was actually Toad's TP. They will get a confirmed kill there. No summoner spells. Really, well, the flash was burned by ISO Square, but I think it was just too little too late. Not much can be done there. Now God of Anubis is here. Ditto is still bot as well. Nice little Lux binding right there onto Scalene. We'll use the ultimate. He's about 40% HP from the full combo. Well, that's not a lot right now at 10 minutes. Even though it is just a soul lost chapter, it's kind of impressive on a taken character like Nautilus.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. Getting poke out already, that's what Lux wants to do. She wants to keep spanning that ult off cooldown, getting as much damage out as she can, and she's hitting a lot more bindings than I would have expected, honestly, coming into this game. So good on Mr. Machismo for really stepping up, at least in his micro game. He did overstay and get caught out there earlier, but he's hitting bindings, and I guess that's what his champ needs to do.
Nice little gold lead on the side of New York means I think this is their first gold lead of the night, other than very minimal ones in the game beforehand. But 10 minutes have passed. The game is not completely blown up yet, which is very good on the side of New York. That is good news that you want to hear. Nice little trades happening top lane. Nuffle can't really do much.
No.
Just now also wasting the W as well. He's going to go in with the E. He is going to get dismounted here. And now he will be taking huge damage. Nuffle gets a decent trade. And now that's another test your spirit. And that's going to be huge damage onto it. Nuffle is super low. Is it actually going to happen with the tentacle slam? No. Minisoko doesn't ult. Oh, that's actually going to be a nice little hook right there onto Mr. Machizo. I don't think he has a chance to survive this at all.
Well, there's
Nautilus ult used as well. Oh yeah, good job.
He did it.
Good job.
He put the trap. He did not miss it. But yeah, Minisoko getting great trades in the top side, to be honest. The counter pick is really doing work up in the top lane.
I feel as if he ults there, he does confirm it.
He might. It does make the tentacle
indicator disappear.
Makes the indicator disappear, but
just really the best part about it.
Managed to, see the tentacle and time where it would come. He still would have been able to sidestep it. But being at that low HP, maybe mental factors could have gone in. He obviously could have forgotten. Obviously couldn't have not timed it. I suppose he just didn't think it was worth his ult. I believe it's still a long cooldown.
I don't think he knows. I think that's the small little issue. I don't think he actually knows that Alawi ult makes the tentacles invisible, unless you know, because this is your brother, of course.
No, I mean, I'm pretty sure he knows that there's that interaction, but I didn't think he wanted to blow the cooldown. He's not level 11 yet. Still rank 1 ultimate, about 170 seconds or something. And if he's
this actually may be an overstay here on TPP. There is 4 instantly responding to the blue buff being taken. Solomon just smites it away. Hot Dog is there. He is spotted by the vision of the scrying. Not much else will happen here as both teams just poised. He will give up Scuttle.
And the Cloud Drake did go the way of TPP, and we see that it's an Ocean Soul now. Okay. It's going to be a fight to get this, really. If New York can end up getting the soul, and they're not in a large gold deficit by the time they do that, the fights are going to be really difficult for TPP, I think.
Very difficult to burst the Salawi, then. Extremely, especially with the 2 Gore Drinkers already complete on the set and on the Alawi as well. It's going to be very hard. They do get the Ocean Soul. Even just getting an Ocean Dragon alone itself makes it a lot harder. But that's when Neffle's passive comes in. That's when he's able to probably just proc the Qs, do as much as he can. Minisoko will be testing the spirit of Hot Dog here. Nice little damage onto him. He's not maxing E, I don't think. Otherwise, that probably would have done a lot more damage.
It's alright, max to the Q first, I suppose, for the combat damage, and might.
Neffle's actually going to get engaged on here again. He is stunned, locked up. He flashes away to escape the guaranteed death. Toad is now going to get instant knock up here. This is the engage. That's huge damage, and he will live from it. And Ditto almost falls as well. The Jinx ultimate!
It's just wide.
Just barely wide. God of Anubis. Yeah, no, that was a good flash, actually, genuinely. That was a very good flash. It saves his life.
He was going to die tonight.
He was going to die. No, he was going to die. And that is going to be a tower taking a response bot lane, though. ISO Square is just super ahead right now. He does only have the boots advantage, which probably is just sitting on a ton of gold. Only 1,000.
He is 1.7k up on the Jinx. The Jinx does take a lot of gold to actually get online, get accelerated, so we'll have to see how that plays out in team fights.
So, yeah, really, the main gold difference is just the 80 carry of ISO and bot lane up ahead 400, about 2,100 total.
But then look at the jungle top on the side of New York. That's a 1.7 for Minisoko.
Oh, right there. That's going to be a nice little hook underneath the tower right there. No hope.
Another kill.
Forgot of
going for Caitlyn.
Anubis.
Yeah, ISO.
That's just
This lead is
unfortunate.
just ballooning for him in the AD carry position. It doesn't really matter too much for the Lux, I suppose. She's still gonna get her items eventually.
Oh, here we go. Toad is going in right now. He's going to charge at Hot Dog. He's very angry. Another Test Your Spirit trying his best to slow him. Hot Dog is slowed by that as well. It's a huge slow, actually. Toad flashes forward just to confirm the kill onto Hot Dog himself. Minisoko's Tentacles will claim it. Trundle is just top, just making sure Neffel can't get much out of this.
Yeah, this is a great cover by Solomon. I mean, his team doesn't really need him bot. They have an odd numbers play, and he makes sure Neffel doesn't get the tower, and he picks up the wave in XP. I think he's going to do Krugs and then go right back to top, which is exactly what he has to do here. The only problem is that Drake is up in a minute, so Solomon has to make sure to reset before around 40 seconds. Even if he can only defend this tower for so long.
He has to back right now.
Yeah,
he wants to make it
really soon. I assume he's doing it now in this bush.
No.
While he is doing he is doing it. I guess he had to go finish a couple Krugs. But Neffel having TP up is definitely just gonna force this tower now that no one's there to defend. Minisoko is walking down straight to the dragon, so that top tower is gonna be gone, I think.
The Demolisher's already used, but it is only a 40.
Hectex is recalling a little too late.
The resets are not there in time. This is a really bad reset he has to take. That is not a lot of damage on the Lunalis. Not a huge ton anymore.
So,
by the way, Jazz, press A. Thank you. It just helps us let us know.
Hectex and Toad are just...
Solomon is clearing vision here, but he can't get picked. As soon as he's picked, then this team fight is over. It's going to be another ward trap setup right there, trying his best to do what they can. So this is it. This is a 5v5 so far.
They haven't started it yet. I guess they're trying to...
Neffel's the only one not spotted. You don't see 3 on the map. Minisoko will take some damage right here. Solomon Khan coming in from the south side. Hot Dog Bunblade trying to look for his engage. Won't be able to find it. That's a flash on Scalene right now. TPP is on the run. Another Lux ultimate is right there. Hot Dog Bunblade, this is your chance to go in, but Scaling Circle will be the first one to fall in this fight total. Neffel will fall second as well. Solomon Khan is still alive. Ditto will be the next one to fall as well. It's just ISO Square. The Jinx is excited this fight. 3 for 1 on the side of New York Mutants, and they will secure the ocean.
I mean, that's what you had to do if you're New York. That was really well played. The fact to make up for the gold deficit, the Jinx really had to get those passives off. And once the first death came in, she just started throwing out those rockets and doing a lot of damage to TPP. In addition, Neffel just wasn't there in time. He wasn't even able to get his ult off. Neither was Wyke. And a lot of their engage relies on those ultimates. They did get the trade onto Minisoko, who forced out Caitlyn Flash for his flash, but that was just a winning fight for New York. They get the Ocean Drake too, 2 away from Seoul, and yeah, this is putting them in a really good position. Only 1.3k ahead, but it's is that 2.3? 2.3.
It's
2 now.
It's 2. Okay. I know sometimes the stream will lag out a little bit.
But yeah, that's.
But Hot Dog does still have his ultimate now. He just doesn't have the mana for it. This is another teleport coming in on the side here. This is Solomon Khan just running back in again. Toad maybe coming up on the wrong side of the fight here, just shoving them away as much as possible. New York is chasing super deep.
Neffel ended up running back away.
Yeah, I think you just take the Rift Herald instead of chasing that deep there. But now this is a potential
fight TPP for it. TPP, I guess, was just trying to make up for that loss by taking what they had on the map, but New York had resets. They came back with all the gold that they just won in that fight, and they are able to now take the Herald themselves.
Yep, they just took it right before it reset. Now they're going to immediately drop it mid to help sustain this push. They know it's a 1-3-1 right now. And unfortunately, on the side of TPP, because of the 1-3-1, you will lose a mid tower for this as they just shoved 5 bot.
They both recalled. Kled can join with the ult if they decide to fight. Diana
This
has ult.
is huge damage on the mid tower right there. That's Toad going to get locked up, engaged on a little bit. That's going to be huge. There's the ultimate, trying to sustain as much as they can. Hot Dog Bunblade finally getting a really good Diana ultimate out. Ditto will jump in. Mini Soko will fall as well. Sorry, I get the hiccups midway through the fight.
Wow.
A 4-0
Just
on the side of
overextend.
TPP. And what an overstay on the side of New York Mutants. He just had to back off. And now TPP is back into the driver's seat, exactly where they want to be. And they will secure the 21-minute Baron.
Yeah, just staying too far when they were getting their health bars poked out. Alawi couldn't really be that low. She had to be the front line for their engage. She had to be able to ult, but she had no ult. She used it in the fight against Neffel, and she was also really chunked out. And Solomon had to front line, and it just led to him dying. And Ditto's engage led to Minnie and Toad also dying, as well as Minnie and Hector also dying. So really just a rough fight. They had to back out earlier.
And now the gold lead is gone on the side of New York Mutants. It's only 1,000 on the side of TPP, but the Baron is up for another 2 minutes. 2 minutes 20. Because 3 minutes for each Baron, I believe, yeah.
Now see what they can do with the Red Bull Baron power play.
You know, Jess told me not to say sponsor names because they didn't want us to get in trouble. What's wrong with my Modelo Ace?
Modelo time. Unfortunate.
Unfortunate. No one will sponsor us, so we have to make do.
Sponsored by the podcast of the Scuttle Crabbers. Tune in every Wednesday and around 7
True, Scuttle Crabbers do sponsor us because I'm the creator of the Scuttle Crabbers.
Perfect.
Absolutely.
So the Scuttle Crabbers Baron buff, we're going to see what they can do. They're going to knock down a lot of outer towers. This bot tower seems to be their target right now. Got the Baron wave coming in with Neffel on the opposite side of the map. Both DPs are up for both top laners.
Here. It's going to be a nice little bramble completed on the side of Neffel as soon as he does back. Because it's only 200 gold, don't you have double cloth, so...
Yeah, already, he already has the Grievous on his queue, but even more is not going to hurt against 2 Gore Drinkers and a Jinx and a Divine Sunder. You really want that hero reduction.
Trundle already paid his dues, already has the healing reduction on the Bramble as well, but not much else on the side of New York. Then again, the only real healer on the enemy team is Kled. As now the Ocean Dragon is here. This is another fight potentially. Solomon Khan is going to get engaged on here by Scalene. Ultimates are there, trying his best to burst them. It's not going to be enough right now. That's going to be the Kled engage. The Subjugate is right there. That's a huge Toad ultimate into the backline, forcing them out as much as they can. But that's huge damage right there. Hot Dog is able to secure 1. And that's going to be huge damage by Mini Soko as well. Hot Dog Bunblade is super low. Ditto is super low as well. And right now, a 1 for 2. ISO is gone. Ditto is low. If he's going for a steal, it has to be a miracle one.
Drake is just hitting away at Mini Soko. I don't think they want a 50-50 without Smite.
Don't think they want to as well. Mini Soko is just getting... He's lost about a good 800 HP just from the Dragon alone. The Gore Drinker is there. Neffel is getting extremely low. Toad will be able to not kill him. And that's going to be a huge little execute damage. Neffel falls as well, but Scalene will secure it. Ditto immediately going to go in onto the Mini Soko, but will take a lot more damage from the Test of Spirit. Solomon Khan is back here in this fight. This is how long this engagement has been going. And there's going to be another engage right there, and Mini Soko has fallen. Solomon Khan, it will find it rooted. Hot Dog Bunblade, that's a double kill. The Diana ultimate is not enough damage. ISO Square will do a ton more. Ace in the hole will find her target pure. The Sheriff always collects her bounty, and that's now an ace for the side of TPP.
Yeah, that was a long, drawn-out fight. Diana and Kaylin were able to make it back before before anything horrible happened, I suppose. Neffel ended up dropping, but Mini Soko was walking way too far up with how low his health was, and he was getting punished for it. He died at the end, and everyone just got picked out after that. So it seems like the Dragon's going to be going to TPP, two for two in terms of Drakes. No one's really threatening a soul yet, but the gold lead has swung with that last Baron take to be 3K in favor of TPP.
Oh man, I needed a second there to breathe.
Yeah, you take your time. Don't worry.
That was a good 40 to 50 seconds of pure action.
They really wanted that dragon, but honestly, the Drake is the MVP for taking a solid 40% of Mini Soko's HP before he even did anything.
That is the MVP of TPP.
Nerf that.
They're gonna
he
sign him
tried
to a
ult
contract.
out.
Neffel tried to ult
way.
out, but is stunned up, locked up, and now the poor little Kled that tried and could just slammed away home.
Yeah, very unlucky. If I'm at NYM, I am definitely not thinking that the game is lost. They made a couple poor team fights, but they still have a decent chance.
Oh, huge engage right there onto Scalene. ISO scoring. That's huge damage from this Diana. Scalene will fall. Mini Soko actually claims 2 here. Mini Soko is the titan of this team. Solomon Khan will get the huge shutdown onto Diana. Toad flashes forward onto Ditto.
That is exactly what I was about to say. If I'm New York, I am not freaking out because their comp plays so well into what New York TPP wants to do. They engage right around where Mini Soko is, and all he has to do is ult. That's all he has to do. Ult Gore Drinker and start hitting people, and the tentacles do the rest of the work. It's absolutely, it was an amazing R3, R5. I apologize, on the side of NYM. This it plays so well into their comp. And the only problem is if he dies before he gets that ult off, they're not going to be able to do much. The Sterix is definitely helping with that, and he has steel caps, and he's building towards a Spirit Visage, and this Alawi is going to be a monster for TPP to deal with.
Baron is up here at the side of TPP. It has been 7 minutes since the last Baron, though. So they will go ahead and I think they're going to start it.
Solomon channeled.
Yeah, they're going to start it.
Yeah, Solomon's still here. Mini is recalling, but he doesn't have TP yet, I don't think. I think it's up in like 20 seconds.
Yeah, this is an instant start right now. TPP, they figure they already have the tempo for it. Solomon Khan not able to get in. That's going to be Smite secure on the side of TPP. Ditto securing it, and yeah, they just start Baron off immediately off spawn. As soon as they spawned in, said, all right, let's send all 5 there. Let's.
I guess Mini Soko didn't.
Ride down, Cowboys.
After the play, he just got his Spirit Visage off that recall. So it seems like his reset came a little late. And they weren't able to contest. No one was in position to, really. They probably just didn't consider the fact that they were going to do it on spawn. But now the next objective is the Dragon, which Neffel still has TP for. And he's going to be pushing out top lane while his team sets up.
True, but half of the Baron will already be gone at that point.
Yep.
Negating most of that. It is a close game. 2.5k gold lead separates the teams. So very back and forth crawling for each team right now. Most of the gold lead mid actually exploded huge in that gold lead. 2,000 itself from Diana getting all those kills and shutdowns. Solomon will find Ditto here. He's under-leveled, actually.
Even with Locket.
Iso's going to get hit right there by the Lux Laser and is at half HP. Mini Soko is here as well. Neffel is a level ahead as well. The XP difference is now starting to come in huge here as the Baron buff minions will go ahead and get that tower. Confirmed. Toad is going to engage right there onto Diana. 3 instant recalling on the side of TPP. Mini Soko will go ahead and try his best to do what he can here. Hot Dog Bunblade will engage onto Toad, but I don't think you have enough damage yet. This is going to be the huge face breaker or uppercut.
Wait, that's Diana's going to be down for the Ocean Dragon. NYM really has to get in here. They have a 4v5.
Toad did teleport. Ditto's actually going to go in here onto little
actually
Solomon
canceled his
Khan.
recall.
The engage is there.
die.
Neffels from behind. And Solomon Khan may have bitten off more than he can initially fight for, but he will be able to barely survive. Actually, Neffel may have actually found himself into a really bad spot. Able to flash out. Right now, it's a 4v5. Ditto has had his spirit tested.
Oh, he's in.
Mini Soko just has to go in.
50-50 it.
This is going to be huge. Can Solomon do it? Yes, he will secure it as well. That's a huge engage right there after God of Anubis. Mini Soko is there. We're trying to do as much as he can. He will secure one. Neffel, the instant teleport back, is here as well. That's going to be crit rockets flying in. Neffel will fall. X-Stick not able to do that much damage right there onto the Caitlyn. The Caitlyn ultimate will find another. The trap is perfect. TPP with another ace.
ISO is not missing those traps today, I suppose. Really good play by TPP. But Toad really had to complete that recall and then TP. He
didn't have
died.
it.
He just died that fight. He didn't have it.
No, he didn't have it. It came up after the fight. It's actually going to be an instant engage. Diana is going to go in and try to do as much as she can. That's huge damage by the set. He won't fall for it. And that was questionable.
Yeah, I don't know.
On the side of TPP.
They're not going to lose anything for it, so there's nothing wrong with looking for the play. They knew Set was the only one alive. But I guess they're not going to take the inhib either. Good call. There's no Baron. There's no objectives to fight for by taking the inhibitor. And it really would just be funneling gold into the Jinx and the Alawi, which is exactly what they don't want right now. So that was a good restraint by not taking the inhib.
Wow. I had Trundle with the secure as well.
Yes.
Steal game 1, securing the 50-50 game 2. Now it's a potential Ocean Soul. But this is the biggest goal lead of game 2 so far. It's about 5,400, 300 on the side of TPP. This is exactly not what you want. A 3.3k gold lead on the ADC position right now. That's a full item ahead.
Yeah,
almost another 3,000 on the mid as well. Of course, mages have the cheaper items, but
almost even. And top lane is only a K behind because Neffel's been able to sit in the side lane.
As much as he can. Huge headshot damage on the Mini Soko.
Wow.
Is also going to eat the Executioners. Or the Mortal Reminder, I'm sorry. It is a completed item, so that is the item advantage right there. So Jinx only having the Kraken and LDR and Runans. Oh, they try to block the blast cone. I guess that didn't really work out unless you Thresh Lantern it. I've seen people cancel the. I don't think I've seen people cancel the blast cone. Have I? Have you?
Cancel. So with Trundle Pillar, you can stop them midair if they hit the blast.
I think that's what he was trying to do. Yeah.
He probably tried to predict it, but he did not. Neffel didn't auto it as quickly.
Solomon is gonna walk to this Diana. Huge headshot damage.
This is a little deep without.
Adam Anubis is just walking up, and they know that multiple people are there.
All right.
So ISO, if he is going to get engaged on, that would have been the moment right then and there. They're going to reset up the trap line, trying their best to secure as much as they can vision-wise.
So Baron's coming up, and the big issue with New York's position.
Neffel is pushing top alone. Inhibitor is being threatened here. Baron has spawned. Inhibitor tower is gone, and Inhibitor itself will fall because Toad has to respond here.
Yeah.
I don't think you'll be able to stop it in time. That's a huge engage right there. But Ditto gonna go ahead, and that's a huge Luxager, just trying to do as much as they can. Mini Soko not able to find the kill onto ISO yet in the backline. Hot Dog by Blade with a huge Diana ultimate, not able to secure it though. God of Anubis is there. Neffel with the war cry screaming through will try their best to find another winning fight here for TPP. But I think that's just a dead Scalene potentially. And now Neffel did use the ultimate. Toad is here as well. And that's going to be a back call re. Backs of the recalls have been channeled so far. and they were going to reset right now. New York Mutants will take 2, lick their wounds, and live to die another day.
Yeah, that was pretty well handled, honestly, by the side of New York. Neffel knew that he wasn't going to be able to, that he was just going to be able to free push unless someone answered. Toad went to answer, which was a good call since he had the TP to respond. Now Mini has his TP, so he can respond if Neffel tries to do that again, and then TP into the action when he's needed. But they're immediately going into this next play.
They have to go in for the soul right now. This is going to be huge. Solomon is going to push away right there. Neffel on the wrong side. Mini Soko going to go ahead test the Spirit of Scalene. They won't kill the Spirit yet. Toad is going to go ahead and focus on Neffel right now. He will be taking a lot of damage for it.
By himself.
That's a Lux ultimate right on there. Solomon will take huge bits of damage as well. And now, so far, just no actual fight response. Right there, as Hot Dog is in the south side of the fight alone by himself. He's been there this entire time. Will get hit right there. Hot Dog Bunblade is now immediately going to go in on the Jinx. Tesla Spirit is there. Not going to be enough damage. Hot Dog Bunblade is gone. Toad is traded for it. Both mid laners are traded. That's going to be the TP right in front of you. The Fake Stumble is going to go for the end. Scaling Circle will be the first one to fall in this fight right now. Hextech is crit rockering as much as he can. Ditto is just trying his best here to delay as much as he can. Hextech will now secure the dragon. Mini Soko's able to back. One Nexus tower has fallen so far. This is not going to be another as it's going to be a nice little confirm right there. They will get a second inhibitor. The Ocean Soul has been confirmed on New York Mutants, but it cost them a Nexus tower and an inhibitor.
Yeah, the issue with what TPP tried just there is that they weren't able to stop the recall. If Ditto put down the Cataclysm and went to auto Mini Soko as he's channeling recall, I think the game is over. I think they can end the game. On an unfortunate little misplay, a lot was happening. He probably didn't think that about even doing that, but that was very close. Scaling did a good job canceling the TP.
And TPP are the teams to go for the backdoor ends with the teleports. We've seen that quite a lot from it, especially from Wyke.
Yeah, they definitely have good side lane pressures. And since they have those good side lanes pushing, they're able to, TP and force them in and look for ends.
And now this is going to be an extremely late third Baron in the game has spawned. Most teams don't survive against 2, let alone a third.
Yeah, New York is probably under some stress right now. That Nexus tower is really low, and honestly, you don't even need a mid-wave if you're Kled. You might just be able to take it by yourself. So they're probably
I know there's no teleport right there. ISO Square will get slowed up. Solomon trying his best to do as much as he can. Scaling Circle will go wide with the hook. Toad is just here in the base protecting as much as he can. Baron, it could be started here, even though they don't have the position for it. Out of Anubis will find Hot Dog Bunblade. Go ahead
and completed the IE.
Okay, that is not
a big purchase for Jinx.
That's not going to be the ultimate hitting on the side of Anubis there, but the Lux ultimate is already a third of the way already recharged because it's a 20. It's like a 30-second late game ultimate ability, already halfway done, but it is very spammable. Hot Dog Bunblade is in the bot lane though for sure. Solomon Khan. They will break the trap line because they know ISO couldn't walk up preferably. Hot Dog is trying his best here to do the same position as Neffel was doing earlier. Gonna go ahead and shove that in, trying his best to do what he can. Does have the teleport potentially for the fight if they do choose to fight it. But right now, Toad will clear that. They'll escort another wave in. Red Inhibitor has respawned in the top, but there is still a super minion there. Just battling his way out. And this is just a game of inches right now. The first team to mess up will most likely lose the fight. That's going to be a nice little engage right there onto Toad. The set just taking huge amounts of damage.
Yeah, there's definitely more pressure on New York to not lose the fight because of the super waves that TPP
Oh, here
has.
we go. Baron has been started. This is
That
going to be a huge melt right now. They try their best to do what they can. Can they find a way into the pit?
They're off.
No.
They're off.
It's been canceled.
Toad is always going to stop Wyke's recall or TP if he tries to get to the fight. So it's going to be a
Another
4v4.
re-engage right now. Mini Soko, and they back off again. This dance will last for an eternity, it seems.
Yeah, with New York's comp, they really have to secure the space themselves and force TPP to come into them with the Alawi and the Lux. They're not really getting anywhere by
Jinx can just
going back
free
and forth.
farm.
Jinx
We'll
is
go
able
ahead
to
and do as much damage as he
Oh.
can. Ditto will go in right now on the Hextech. Here's Hot Dog Gunblade on the south side of the fight. That's going to be huge damage on the Hextech, and he will fall right now. Minisoko will go in and huge headshot damage right there onto ISO. And now it is time for Minisoko to ult. He will fall right there. The set will get a confirmed one. Neffel sliding away as much as he can. Toad will go ahead and do and secure the kill on ISO right now. Scalene just recalling as much as they can.
Wow.
And now they will push out mid. Bot lane dies, but mid and ADC fall on the side of TPP as the response as well. Now they will shove out this mid lane. Rinhib is now going to respawn as well because the supers are no longer spawning, so they will go ahead and take this inhib 41 minutes into the game.
All right. Here they have to back out. Good. They know that they can't take any more, and they know Elder is spawning in 50 seconds. This is a massive objective. If TPP gets this with the way they've been playing fights, Alawi might not even be able to get her ult off, right? Alawi being able to live,
this is gonna be huge.
and Toad being able to live is kind of what's winning them these fights. And with that Elder buff, those guys are they're dead. They're gonna get executed before they get their main damage off.
So now all inhibitors are up. No chance of a backdoor possible anymore. Now they are going to go ahead and secure vision around Elder as well. But it looks like TPP may trade.
They are postured around Baron. Looks like they're just clearing vision while
they may engage right there onto Neffel. The thing...
Yeah. Well, that was a flash from the Lux, and it doesn't really find its target.
Neffel flashes into the Dragon Pit. Yeah, they're instantly going to go ahead and start the Baron in response here. But Elder's now the response question on the side of TPP. Can he do it? Ditto, the hero of TPP, if he's able to secure this, will it be enough? Yes, it is! He secures it! He steals it! 67 HP! And now the recalls are coming in. Neffel will go ahead and summon his team in. They will try and march directly into the base. The teleport will confirm. Here we go. Open Nexus. ISO Square has to flash away. Neffel will go ahead and be the sacrificial lamb so far. Oh no! If this was if New York was able to secure that, they would have won the game. But now the health bars are way too low. Both tanks are not going to be able to fight here. ISO is licking his wounds, trying his best to run away here. And New York is going to go ahead and try and secure the win.
It is a 5v3. They know this. Ditto's up in 13. And so then it'll be a 5v4. They have Hector, who is now a full 5 items with the GA. I think they can look for this. They have
They have to go for it. Scalene Circle's actually going to get hugely burst down, and he will fall!
They don't have the wave is now the issue. They need a minion wave, and Neffel's up in 10 seconds. It's going to be a 4v5 without the Nautilus.
Hot Dog Gunblade.
Not that big.
There is a ward open in the base.
There it is. This is the time. This is it. They have their ults up. New York has all their ults. Elder buff is definitely still on its targets. ISO and Wyke.
Minisoko not get damaged enough. Ditto will be eating some huge poke right there. That is a Sterix popped.
Solomon almost dies to the Caitlyn ult, and it looks like they're going to be backing out.
If that was a Caitlyn, oh no. And Hot
Again.
Dog Bunblade could have ended the game there, possibly with the teleport.
It would have been close. Toad still has his teleport to answer. Then it would have been a question of if they could have canceled him. And now New York's looking for their resets. Jinx, her GA was not popped. This Jinx is now a powerhouse in team fights. She has full items. Even in
True,
that
even
last,
ahead of CS now.
yes, she was able to sit in a side wave and just get ahead of CS. Same thing happened actually with Neffel. Neffel has been able to sit in a side wave, and now he's ahead in CS. He's still down in gold. Look at the item.
Okay, they're going to go ahead and try and fight for the red buff here. They know something is up. They have to realize something is up. This is going to be a huge fight right now. That's the engage right there. They're going for the base. The open Nexus.
Yeah.
This is TPP's Hail Mary. That's going to be a confirmed win right there. Game 2. Will go ahead and secure the series victory for TPP over New York Mutants. A nail biter to the end.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay.
That huge Elder Steel really helped save the game there for Ditto. And Ditto clipped himself. Ditto, you can't clip yourself. Just letting you know as a future reference. And that doesn't go in cool clips. That goes in clip submissions. But don't worry, it's okay. Wow, the savior of that game was that J4 securing it. Still a cool clip, though. I agree. Still the reason, that was the reason why this game went the way it did. If that would have been a secure on Solomon, I mean, he had been winning all of the Smite fights up until that point as well. He had won the last 3 Smite fights. You wouldn't bet on him to lose a 4th.
He smited it down to around
67 HP was the final tick. And I believe it was the J4 auto.
I'm pretty sure, yeah. I mean, it was really close. Just didn't quite go through.
And New York, oh man, they had just able to really get back into this game as well. If Jazz could please put damage up, if you don't mind, so that way we can see it. I just want to see the damage there. Yeah, ISO doing around 53,000 damage right there.
And then Minisoko doing the most on his team.
Second, yeah, 52,000 damage for ISO. Next highest is 32,000 on the side of New York, but Hot Dog Bunblade doing a nice, cool 38,000 as well. He had a really weak, shaky early game, but was able to get a lot of those pick kills and push himself forward. Just really nice to see. Those Diane ults later into the fights, Hextech's getting that fine as well. I think that was really what also helped set up as well, because if only ISO was ahead that game, I do think that game goes completely differently. But because the TPP played the game smart, and they are able to find a lot more ways where they can come in as well, I do think Wyke could have ended the game like a little bit earlier by teleporting on the open Nexus while all of New York Mutants were just corralled in their base and they had an open Nexus towers. But I'm not going to blame them for that. I think they still played the game and they still won for it. They just played it. They just ended it a little bit longer. So that's not something to beat yourself up on as well. They just end within the Kled Ultimate because New York Mutants doesn't really defend the thing right there. Yeah, I understand you were worried about them ending faster. No, trust me, I understand. Toasty Boy, the score is 2-0 right now. TPP has won the series, and they are going to go ahead. I think they're going to go ahead and get ready for Game 3. Just give me a little second here to get my breath going again, because there was a lot of screaming fights that time, and we go straight into draft. Okay. Well, I mean, you already started draft. We have to go ahead and go.
Water, Nitro.
It's okay. It's fine. I'll just get it during the 3-minute break.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
All right, so Viego now banned away still from Solomon Khan. Rail
Viego,
banned away from New
Conference.
York Mutants. We're going to see the same couple of bans as well. Yeah,
Prob-
looks like
yeah.
it's going to be the same couple of bans. Alawi banned away on the side of TPP. That's a respect. Mini Soko getting 2 respect bans. Let's go, Small Hawk. That's what you love to see.
Yeah, TPP really likes playing these engaged dive comps, and the Alawi is honestly a perfect answer. So you could see why they would ban it. It played really well. New York just didn't execute exactly how they wanted to. They really wanted to be at objectives first and have TPP run into them, but instead they were the ones moving in, and they didn't really get the full value out of it. And had they maybe positioned a little better, gotten a little better resets, they might have been able to get better leads and close the game up before they got backdoored.
And now J4 insta-picked again here. So it's like J4 all 3 games. Which, nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, if it works, if they feel comfortable on it, there's nothing wrong with it.
And Malphite wasn't banned, so Anubis is going to get it. Okay. Here we go. We're gaming.
Malphite Ezreal. Not sure how that bot lane works out. There's Wyke Silas.
Agree with Malphite Ezreal.
Yeah, I don't know. The Malphite could obviously be a flex, but given we can assume it's probably going to Mr. Machismo until we see the rest of the picks.
Yeah. But Silas is easily going to go ahead and get a ton of value from Ultimates already.
And the
Akshan! Okay!
Where's this Akshan going is now the question.
Here
we gotta pull up
we go, baby. We got ourselves the pick here. Akshan is finally picked, I think, for the first time in ELU. Because I think it was banned the first 2 weeks. It just nobody picked him. So yeah, I think this is an Akshan.
Another Mordekaiser ban going up towards the top side. They banned Kled, they banned Set, more Neffel bans. And what's the last ban going to be from TPP?
Sorry about that. I was making sure that, I think that is the first Akshan we've seen. And TPP, I think they keep pinching the top pool.
I don't know what they do here. Graves.
Okay.
Pick. Interesting ban. So New York obviously has R5 again. So what are they blinding on R4? The Volibear.
Volibear, okay.
Don't want to go back to the Trundle.
Power pick. No Trundle this time. But still, I think that's still a decent ultimate for Silas to steal. I think the weakest ultimate Silas could steal here is the Akshan ult.
Yeah, Silas does have some pretty good ults. But Wyke's comfortable on the Silas. And, I don't know. It's really hard
Leona
coming
Somebody call Spanaway. We got another Leona in our games.
Yeah, at Spanaway real quick. He has to come complain.
Yep, hold on a second. Let me find him on the Discord.
All right. Thank you, Nitro.
Poor Spanaway. He got it, though.
Did it last week.
He got it last week. He gets one. He gets one.
He gets one Leona performance.
He gets a single Leona performance.
And the Poppy coming in probably topside. So now what's the R5 going to be? It looks like it's going to be Mini Soko's pick.
Yeah, I think Spanaway instantly came on his mobile. Yeah, they did. All right, so blue team, J4, jungle, Silas mid, ADC,
Darius.
Saya.
They pick Darius.
Darius.
Darius into Poppy. Okay. This is not as winning for Darius as it may initially seem. Poppy has a pretty decent win rate into Darius.
Okay.
This is gonna be a
We are
Very-
here. We are here, Soko. Okay? Are
We're
you
right
here?
I'm here.
Okay. We're here. We're here right now. We are. They did. Hextech plays it last week. Did he play Akshan last week? I don't see. Oh, yeah, he played it ADC. My bad. I'm so used to saying Akshan mid. My bad. Thank you very much, Nutsushi. Okay. So, a little bit of a spice, huh? We got a little Korean chili flakes into this game. I think just a little, though. Wouldn't you say? Soka?
Yeah. I'd say a little bit of paprika. Not too spicy, but
Okay, come
got
on,
a good
bro.
flavor.
Paprika's not even that spicy, okay? Come
No,
on.
but it's got good flavor. That's the point.
Yeah, you and your white people and the paprika's spicy.
All right.
Burn your tongue like a real man.
Didn't even know
Swallow
you knew what
sriracha.
paprika was.
You don't even know what paprika is?
No, I said I didn't think you knew what paprika was.
Dude, I'm a cook.
Oh my god, I cook too. Let's go.
Oh my god.
You want to
Hey.
cook together sometime?
Sure, man. Team bonding exercise. I cook Cuban, you cook American.
Serbian. I'll cook you Serbian cuisine.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah.
Nah, never mind. I don't want to be poisoned for my Albanian bloodline.
Listen to this guy. Listen to this guy.
Okay, moving on.
So it looks like Toad picked Akshan, so I think it's an Akshan mid, which makes more
Yeah,
sense.
so
We
it
do
is
the other
Akshan
a
mid.
lot.
I knew it was Akshan mid.
this Darius pick is something else.
Hey, you know what? He's man moding it. Darius is a top pick in solo queue right now again.
Yeah, he's going crazy.
He's going nutty with it.
Can't wait to see a Darius Pentacle coming in.
The Pentaduck.
Yeah, we fully
Thought
expect.
you were a teacher. What other lies have you told us? I can cook? Because what is being a teacher also being, what did it have to do with being a cook?
He's an imposter.
I'm sus.
Nitro,
That's why I have the Among Us in front of my username.
Nitro, this is you, man. Just put you in the chat.
He's an imposter. Vote him off. Oh man, what is this devolved into? Oh hey, Nest 2021 has just finished group stage. Cool. Nest, if you don't know what it is a esports tournament in China that they do every year, and they invite a bunch of teams to it. Right, mostly just almost all of the LCK teams, and then maybe like something else. So it's always nice to watch it after Worlds, just to see, like teams play, see how they are, see how these players will, act. But players temporarily join for Nest itself. They get a national draft for it as well. It's really cool. If only we had something like that here. That'd be sick. Can you imagine?
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
A North American circuit where it's like a full Mexican team, a full Canadian team, and a full American team, just all in a group against each other.
I can agree. That'd be kind of ballin'.
I'd be really ballin'. Like we have one Canadian, one Mexican, and one Canadian team.
One Canadian, one Mexican, one Canadian.
Yeah, one Canadian.
One Canadian.
One Canadian peso.
I see. Okay. Glad we're on the same page.
I'm glad to. Anyway.
Do you need to get water, Nitro? Do you need a break? What? This is the 3-minute jail time.
No. It's fine.
No, I would just say if you needed anything.
Yeah, and I know, but I'm okay.
My boy Nitro Dax over here.
I'm just looking at just rumors right now, seeing if anything interesting's been happening. The Cloud9 Academy mid laner may be promoted. Vulcan is leaving Cloud9.
What? Really?
Yep. Vulcan's leaving Cloud9. He's going to EG.
Evil Genius. Oh no, with Jizuke.
No, Jizuke's gone.
Oh, where's Jizuke? Is he retired?
Jizuke's going to either Immortals or Europe.
What the hell? You know, on Cadrill's stream, he quote unquote leaked a lot of lineups for LEC teams in this next season.
Yeah. Well, that's just Well,
See
we
that?
just have Travis for NA.
Did Travis show like all the?
No, he just talked a
confirmation?
lot about potential things, like the potential CLG roster. So Finn is allowed to explore other options right now, even though he's under contract for another year. But I think it's Poom, Luger, which is the 100 Thieves Academy bot lane, Palafox, Contracts, and Finn.
There was
So
also a rumor that Finn was gonna go to EU.
bottom 8 team.
Bottom
Most
8
likely.
team.
Most likely. I don't think CLG has a shot of not escaping relegation this season.
Unlucky.
Anyway, the big rumor right now is that Niski may be coming back to Cloud9.
Cloud9 and Fnatic back to Cloud9. Classic.
Yeah, classic. But
Hardcore.
knowing how Fnatic mid laners are, Humanoid was officially bought out and brought to Fnatic, so he'll be in a
Yeah.
different region in 2 years.
True.
Following the trends of all Fnatic mid laners recently, of just leaving the team completely, or which sucks. Inspired did re-sign that contract extension, only to go to Evil Geniuses, which would be really funny. And the SK mid laner, I think his name is Blue, is coming to North America for Dignitas.
Dignitas Quantum Pay, my favorite team.
Oh yeah, that's right. Okay, we're already in game. That was very fast. Sorry about that, guys. So now we can go ahead and stop talking about that. Get back into the poggers of this game action. Cleanse is there ahead for Hextech as well. It is an Alphite support as well. Exactly what we were expecting. Nobody's favorite, not nobody's, Mr. Machizo's preferred support. Tier start on the Ezreal to go ahead and start stacking that early. And it's going to be the same smites that we've seen both games.
Here we see the team synergy with the crying Zoe emote going across the bottom side of TPP.
I think TPP just presses team more than they focus about the games. Very sad. Very true.
It's a good synergy we're having. I like
True, it's very good
This is
synergy.
one of my favorite emotes.
I am just saying things.
Favorite emote, Nitro?
Favorite emote, Dabbing Penguin.
Dabbing Penguin. That's a little...
With the noise.
Well, of course, with the noise. Also saw the ghoul get emoted there from the
Oh
bottom.
my god, the ghoul. The ghoul emote. There's only 30 usable emotes that Riot's made.
I don't even know its official name, but I will refer to it as the ghoul emote.
Le ghoul.
That is what it is.
Alright, now getting started into this game as well. Action, doing the action things, just getting the instant trades off with the Q. And the ghoul emote is being spammed at your request.
The ghoul. That's how you gotta get it done. Top lane's looking pretty neutral. Both junglers path towards the opposite of the map. Probably just gonna get the scuttles on their respective sides unless a lot of lane prio comes in for one team or the other.
It is in level 2 first as well, as they are able to get it as well, but it's not going to be a very push advantage for it. As they keep,
Every time the ghoul comes up, I can't look away.
you just giggle like a little schoolgirl.
There, speak the devil. Scaly will not stop with the ghoul.
The ghoul is here to stay for this team.
I'm very glad.
Are you?
Yes, it should be their trademark.
It's now their logo, the ghoul.
They wouldn't. I don't think they'd be mad. Darius Q just going a little wide, not walking up far enough for it.
Now, I think that's a nice little sustain right there for the side of Wyke, as he's just trying to just live as much as he can against Akshan. Not able to have much left anymore, only has the commencing stopwatch, and
Okay.
Poppy taking a really bad trade here on this Darius.
Okay.
That's the
And he's
cue
dead.
right there.
Oh, he leveled up.
The corrupting
I
will
think he's
also
alive.
help save it as well. Poppy barely escapes with her life. She is counting her blessings.
She is indeed. Darius still having flash, but the corrupting potions are healing that Poppy back up, and she is not diveable. Just gonna have to take a leap with what he's got.
Oh,
okay,
nice
there's
little
a
hook
little
right
bit.
there.
He's in a
That's
stun
more
position.
damage right there. Poppy
Oh, and he walked back into the
will
queue.
trade. Solomon is here.
Once
They're
the
going for
wave
the
is in,
dive. Nice little engage right there onto the Malphite support, but he is kind of tanky, so not much damage will be done there.
They're bringing 3 topside. This play kind of has to work.
Oh,
It's a
Solomon
good
will
flash.
flash right there with no tower right there. First blood will be confirmed, but it's a
but Solomon
trade.
does
As
die.
now another fight bot lane. Ignite is ticking. Mr. Machizo will live for right now. Silas is there. Did use the teleport and won't get much from it. Ocean Dragon about to spawn in about 30. Wow.
Okay, so already some action. Solomon
And Jarvan
does
is here. This is going to be a dive.
Looks like they're pinging him off. He's just going to seem to take the Gromp, I suppose.
Nice little counter jungling done there.
That is, I don't mind that. They don't have the Ignite on Scalene, and they don't have a big wave. It probably wouldn't end too well, especially with Hector still having Cleanse.
Having Cleanse and Flash up as well, able to dodge a lot more. Malphite's going to take some brutal damage.
Yeah, this Malphite is going to take a while before until he hits level 6. He's going to get abused in this bot lane.
Yeah, but I guess that's what he wanted.
Yeah, the Malphite pick is he picks it for the level 6. The ult is that champ's identity, so if you can get big game-changing ults in the mid-game team fights, then who cares what happened in the lane. Misoko going to place a ward, make sure he's defended.
Alright. Sorry about that. I'm reading a brand new VR device invented in Japan. Sounds pretty cool. Poppy will not actually get the stun on into the wall. Darius will proc the 5 bleed. Unfortunate. Mr. Soko here, the Poppy player as well, probably has some words of encouragement.
Yeah, well, is playing the lane pretty fine. Eating the Darius backwards. There's some other stuff you can do, but it's a rough lane.
Here we go. Akshan now immediately going to get engaged here. Has to flash away. The shield is enough to try and take as much damage as he can, but I think that was a losing fight no matter what. He will fall for it.
The Poppy sustain is honestly still enough as long as she's near her tower to not die, so Naffle's honestly in a fine spot. Toad is wishing he was in a better spot after that unfortunate play. The Jarvan was able to sneak behind him. Really good gank pathing by Ditto. Pretty impressive coming in as a sub to be having this much impact.
All right.
All credit to him.
So far, this is not our least bloodiest game, I think, this early. Is this?
Game 1 also didn't have a lot of kills, but it had a little more action. It had a lot of sums going.
Game 1 was where TPP just kind of rolled over New York.
Yeah, after about 10 minutes, I think. my memory serves me correct. This is pretty not bloody though. I think this is the least bloody game. Say, a lot of action.
Nice little damage right there as well. Solomon Khan was caught doing the dragon. We'll go ahead and nice little engage here right now. That's going to be one kill. There is facing the storm, but he's a Silas instead of a man bear.
Yeah, that was just uncharacteristic misplay by Solomon. He didn't really have bot prio, didn't have mid prio, and he just tries to solo the dragon.
He did have bot prio, it's just that he didn't have mid.
Yeah. The bot lane could move, but scaling moved up through river as the NYM bot lane was pushing out the wave. So scaling could have moved first.
So now it is going to be, I think, nice little engage here mid is going to be very good for the side of Wyke. Is to try and run away as much as he can, not to get traded on too well. So he does drop the burst combo. But so far, this is, I think, the latest the dragon has been taken.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to go pretty uncontested towards TPP, however.
So far, nice little Predator has been used as well. That's going to be the Akshan ult onto him. That's going to be the Poppy ult as well. We'll only hit one, but there's the dunk!
Noxian Guillotine coming down. That's a kill for Minisogo.
Wow, I can't believe Minisogo didn't get hit by the Poppy ult there. It only hit Solomon.
I can't believe it either, honestly. I'd have
and
to.
And Neffel will fall for it as well, but this is going to be a huge trade as well! That's a top play from right there in the mid lane, and now God of Anubis will fall as the Twilight is too much for the Mountain Man. And now this Ezreal, who is kind of a low damage source for at least a good portion of this game, has to try and find his best way to output consistently a ton of damage. Has to make sure he's pinpoint accurate here. Solomon is caught invading here, will not get stunned up by Neffel, and his team is there, but it won't matter as Wyke is able to roam faster. And Solomon just loses about a good 30%, 40% of his HP. But hey, he runs with his life, so.
Yep.
Who cares? And Darius just having no mana at all. Minisogo just didn't back.
Does have to reset now, I guess. Still has a small CS lead of 18. It's gonna shrink due to Neffel picking up this wave right now.
Very nice auction stealth there.
Yeah, staying out of trouble.
Free information right there granted to him. Solomon is top, just holding the wave, but they have to figure that they're coming bot. Because you know Scalene is coming back. You have to assume that J4 is right behind her. And that's going to be a nice little engage right there. But Nubis instantly flashes out. There is the Solar Flare again. A huge amount of damage on Desire. Is it going to be enough? Nubis is looking for the trade himself. Ditto won't be able to find the kill yet as well. And now here is Silas joining the fight right now. That's going to be a huge ultimate right there. That's a confirmed 2 for Wyke. And top lane, another fight happening as well. Poppy will get pulled in. There is the Q. The ultimate is there. There is not enough hope for Poppy. The flash is there. Yes, he will live. The tower never autoed him in the first place. There was only tower 1 stacking auto. So it only did 197. Akshan is actually going to find Silas here, but he will also find a J4 that flashes forward, confirms the kill! And that is the stopwatch burned as well, and it has gone from bad to worse on the side of New York Mutants.
Definitely unlucky there. Overstay by Akshan, but good kill on the top side. There was a good play by both Minisogo and Solomon to get the kill. Solomon did end up having to burn flash. I think that could have been avoided if he was a little more patient with his Volibear ult, but they got the kill nonetheless. So they can surely be happy with what they can get, given that they're 5 kills down, almost a K gold down as well.
Which isn't horrible.
No, it's definitely still depending on where the gold is, which we can see right now. A lot lead for Zaya, big lead for Silas, but there's a 300 gold lead for Volibear and a 1.7k gold lead for the Darius. So this Darius actually has the most gold in the game.
Exhaust used on the Silas after he gets his full combo down.
Yeah,
Actually, the perfect time to get exhausted.
What did Minisoko just completed the Divine Sunder and purchased another Phage, so he is with the most gold in the game, like we just said. He's gonna be the guy who has to make the plays for New York.
True. He has to get the 5-man bleeds into dunk resets.
And we'll see what we can do.
This is going to be an engage right here coming on.
Oh.
Ooh, White will barely miss it. The solar flare is also used as well, but there's no hope of getting that confirmed right there. Predator is popped by Volibear. Poppy will not have a chance to run.
Kill. Yeah.
And this is going to be a dive happening bot lane right now. Ditto will go ahead and engage in. That's going to be huge damage. That's 1 traded, 2 traded. Ditto does not fall. And that's 2 more kills on this side of TPP. This is going to be a huge little ultimate right there onto ISO. Galen is here, though. Akshan is not able to find much more. Volibear is super low. Won't be able to find much more. Cloud Dragon is started here. That will be taken on the side of TPP. Solomon Khan cannot contest it.
Yeah.
And this is going to be another engage right here onto Akshan. Is able to flash it away perfectly.
Yeah, this is not looking great if you're New York. Your Volibear has some kills. I would have liked to see the Darius get the kill on the top play there. Just because he's the one you really need to be accelerating, but Volibear getting some kills isn't bad either. If he can get Divine Sunder in this next recall, which he most definitely will, I believe.
I would like to see Akshan get some heal cut, maybe.
Yeah, there is a 600 gold lead for the jungle, and the gold lead for top is ballooned to 1. Actually, it's still around 1.6, 1.7, which is where I was before. So not a big difference from before, to be honest.
It's about a 1.1k in the bot lane right now as well, and the mid lane is a huge one, though. That's the one you got to worry about.
That is one you really need to worry about. Now Silas has just as much.
Oh, there's going to be another engage right there onto Neffel as well. He is not having a fun time. Oh, he will miss the Poppy ultimate as well. The Absolver was used as well. Toad will get that kill. Neffel just not having fun as they bully him.
No, Neffel is all 5 of his team's deaths. They're just getting kills topside. He's just overextending. He's overstaying. And it doesn't seem like it's going to be costly. His team still has both dragons, and they still have a really big Silas. But we'll have to see when it comes to the teamfight stage.
This is going to be problematic here if you are trying to, stop the bleeding here for TPP. Try not to give them a way in.
Yeah, we haven't seen a ghoul come out from Scaling Circle in a while, which I'm concerned about. I don't know if you forgot about the ghoul, but I'm hoping to see it at least one more time. Keep your eyes out for that. Ditto and Minisoko in control threeing each other.
Okay, yeah, the ghouls are coming. All right, we're having a dance party in the mid.
Surely now we get a ghoul.
Surely now we get a ghoul. No, it's gonna be a nice little engage right there onto the bot lane. Ezreal trying his best to escape. ISO will dodge the Malphite ultimate by just simply walking away. The Blade Caller is used. That's huge damage on the Malphite, though. Not enough. Here's Solomon just gonna bite him. Say, I just wanted a piece. And eats the entire meal. Solar
This
Flare
is
is
a good
actually dropped
engage. I don't
huge
think
right
they
there
will
onto
be able to live.
Minisoko. The
He gets the
ultimate
Q.
is there. The Q heal is huge, but it looks like it won't matter.
He flashes
Flash
out.
forward will secure it. Rift Herald has dropped bot as well, so it will be a trade. And they are going to keep pushing, though. Ditto has... Looks like Silas is already back, trying to stop the bot push. But they are going to go ahead and go for it. Another charge right there, and that's 2 towers.
Yeah, it's a lot of value out of that Rift Herald. But Machismo gets caught. He's walking in front of the Herald.
Machismo?
Not sure if he thought that the Herald was going to block the Silas chains or if he...
I think Machismo disconnected there.
Definitely looked like he might have. Not sure.
I think he disconnected there. But we're going to go ahead and keep going. Neffel has just been sitting top this entire time. And we'll go ahead and claim that tower. So gold lead is still about 1,000. It was even, but now it's only 1,000. Toad is instantly getting engaged on here.
He has nowhere to go.
He has nowhere to go. That's another Solar Flare
sound.
popped right there. Stunned up, locked up, knocked up, and unfortunately sent back to the grave.
Now that's the end of that one.
No scoundrels will be killed today.
The only scoundrel. Oh, there's the ghoul. There's the ghoul.
Okay.
We got it.
All right, man. Yeah, the ghoul is there. It's Infernal Soul. Going to be going ahead for this game. Should be huge. I don't think New York Unions really have a chance way in this game to just win. You need this Darius to be super mega ahead, 200 CS. And they are... Yeah. TPP is in the Wolf Pit, cosplaying Warwick's family. They will go ahead and find Volibear. This is not going to be a full fight. Toad is not here. He doesn't have teleport either, so he is in a big misposition. Yep, that was a huge Ezreal Q damage against Silas.
Looks like
the Minisecond will be knocked out.
They need to take advantage of that Poppy ult, and they're starting the Drake. Doesn't look like, New York's not in a position to contest at all. That's the third dragon going to be going over to...
This is engaged right here. God of Anubis is in a really bad spot. Has to ult out. We'll go ahead and get ulted again by J4. But it will be a flash forward by Neffel. That will be one confirmed kill so far. That's going to be the instant engage right there onto Toad as well. And that will be another kill.
Yeah. They're just snowballing their lead really well. They have the 3 Drakes. And the lead that Minisoko and Solomon got topside is slowly diminishing just due to teamfight losses.
Again, something to note here. There's still no healing cut on the side of New York. Solomon is here. Can he get another smite fight steal?
They did see him. Oh, three-man
pull!
I'm not sure if that's what you wanted.
I don't think that's what they needed.
But I don't think he expected that many.
Oh, that's actually going to be a flash forward by Scalene, just trying to push Solomon away. This is not going to be enough here. This is it. Solomon, the jump forward, he steals it again! They steal another one, but Silas will go ahead and steal his ultimate. They will go ahead and focus Hextech. God of Anubis wants to go ahead and kill ISO. Is it going to be enough?
He does not get in range.
No, he's slow.
Too slow. But yeah, that was just a weird indecision by the side of TPP. One person scaling goes over the wall to try and maybe stop Solomon, but Volibear just makes him unstoppable. You either commit to holding or you go for the 50-50. I don't think there's any point to go for the 50-50 when you already have the Darius dead, the Akshan dead. There's really you should just kill the Volibear. And then that 50-50 doesn't happen. Yeah. That's just a slight misplay where we usually
so far Solomon has only lost one smite fight. Too bad it was the game deciding smite fight last game.
Yeah. Down to 67 HP. Those things are not easy to hit.
It's okay. It's all right. Just Don't want to beat him up too much for it. It was still very well played so far. This game, though, even though TPP is up 12 kills, they are only up about 1.2k. But there is nobody that can stop this Silas late game, as he's just going to start again. Another engage right there. Toad will survive and will use the tower to his advantage here, actually. Only procking right now. That's going to be huge damage right there. Solomon will go ahead and secure the Predator kill right there. That's another engage. And that's two big shutdowns on the side right there. Mini Soko will go ahead, pull in ISO square. Mini Soko again with the flash. The guillotine is huge. Well, Poppy ulted. 3 kills on the side of New York Mutants, and they're back into this game, back into the driver's seat.
Well, they have the gold lead by 1.4k, almost 1.5k. That was a lot of gold going towards Solomon. The Polar Bear is going to get accelerated a little bit here. The Darius ended up getting a kill on the Zaya. I'm not sure how big the shutdown was, but that was definitely gold that the Darius does not mind having. And those are the kind of fights that you need.
Well, and even then, Zaya is 223, Ezreal is 021, and the gold difference is 300. Very negligible. That's a good solo fair right there. That's going to be a huge Malphite ultimate that whiffs on everyone. But they will still secure the Malphite kill.
Oh, does he know he's on a ward?
He doesn't know he's on a ward. He's taunting, and it will cost him his life.
That was a big mistake. You know it's warded. You have to get out of there. But I guess he thought no one was close enough to cancel him.
He backed on the control ward as well.
Yeah, he backed on a control ward. He knew they knew where he was, but still decided to channel. That was unfortunate.
It is, but the Man Immune is now completed. Scalene just channeling the Hex Slash as well. Now 40 seconds left on the Infernal Soul, possibly for TPP. This is a huge Infernal Soul for this side of TPP if they're able to get this. This Silas will be able to use it a ton. Yeah, but that's going to be a nice little pick right there into Solomon, as he's just not able to do anything. Just instant CC'd for the 6 seconds of his life.
Definitely a great CC chain.
Perfect, one would say. Still having the Solar Flare, so they do still have the teamfight ultimates. It's a 4v5. New York is going to fight this, but I think it's a reluctant fight of, we just want to try and steal it with Ezreal ult maybe. Like, please don't kill us. And this is going to be the Ezreal ult coming in. 2k done. That's going to be a nice little smite. Can secure. Mini Soko is ulted away. Solar Flare right onto Akshan. It is popped. It is not enough. TPP will go ahead and wipe this fight. Oh no, Mr. Machizo will kill his ADC and pay for his life in blood.
Solomon looking for a kill into the Leona.
Solomon is actually going to engage here right now. That's huge damage. And Bunblade has to go ahead and show us Zonya's right there, as now it is all up to Mini Soko to try and save the day here, but the inhibitor will fall. Still, this is the first time as well that TPP will take it. It's still relatively late as well, but I don't think it matters that much. This Akshan pick hasn't panned out in the whole ways you were hoping for, as Silas is kind of just massively ahead and just kind of dominating.
Yeah, the early skirmishes around bot side just mean that TPP's mid and bot are just that much further ahead. And when you look at the
that's gonna go ahead and have the ghost pop it. Ditto now has to try and run for his life. The pull was already there. Darius W is there as well. The Q timer is not there to match it, so no dunks coming out.
Yeah, New York Mutants bot side only has one total kill, one on the Akshan, and no kills on either bot laner. So this they're pretty starved for gold. The Zaya is slowly outpacing this Ezreal.
I think the outpacing has already happened.
Well,
because I think that's almost a 4,000 gold difference in the mid lane.
In terms of just the AD carry position,
Oh, so we hear that right now. That's going to be a nice little Predator engage. That's going to be a nice little response instant TP. ISO's going to get locked up, though. Will dodge the Malphite ultimate. That's a huge right there. The nice Silas re-engage as well as their mini Soko has to try his best, but it won't matter. A huge shield bow will not grant Toad a second life. ISO Square will secure the kill as well. And that's just going to be a 3v5, well, 3v4 technically, but that's still cleanup crew on the side of TPP. Somebody call it janitor. This game is getting ugly.
Yeah, the Silas Malphite ult is just too good of a tool. I'm not sure if they, in draft, forgot that Silas was a pick you like to take, but blinding the Malphite when he could take the Silas was pretty rough. That's had a lot of impact, the Silas with the Malphite ult.
I think the Silas pick in general here has just had so much impact as well.
Indeed, it has. Yeah.
Now Baron is the response here by TPP. First significant gold lead of this game happening right now, about 6,000 up. Credits to New York Mutants have kind of kept the gold lead somewhat close, but it's only because of the top end jungle being so far ahead. Not much else has really happened.
Yeah, even now, I'm not sure they're even that much further ahead at this point. Got the 30 CS for the Darius and the 20 CS for the Volibear, but
it's only about 1,000 in the top and 1.4k in the jungle. Okay, Solomon, you did it once. Can you do it again? They see it. 4k, 2k,
bottom.
And that's going to be another steal! Solomon wins another smite fight in the exact same process that just happened.
Goodness.
6 minutes ago happens again where Volibear ultimate is stolen by Silas and they will secure it. But they are just going to go ahead and go for the end here. I think TPP has to.
All right. Well,
okay.
Ditto may have outganked, but he has been outsmited this series, except for the one smite that really mattered. Despite getting all these steals, Solomon still didn't not able to, unfortunately, translate that anything for his team, and it looks like they're just gonna walk
go
these
ahead and use
in.
the Poppy teleport here to try and secure this minion right there. ISO Square is super low, almost dies to the towers themselves. That's gonna be a nice little engage on Mr. Machizo, though. He will fall. There is the Silas Ezreal ult sniping him. Solomon Khan is here. Won't be able to get much damage off as well. Toad walking face first into the Silas will pop the Zonia. Solomon Khan did flash. Hextech will go ahead and use that as well. Darius is running forward for the Saya. Will be able to secure that kill. Ditto is super low. Will fall as well. Soko is going to go ahead and go insane with the Darius shutdowns going to the Ezreal. And that's going to be the auction with Silas not going to be able to secure a kill there.
TPP manages to lose the fight. New York stopped them from ending. I don't think anyone really expected that. Maybe a little too eager.
And now Elder is up at 25.
If we look at this, the fact that Solomon was able to steal Baron actually just means that the minions were not Baroned up and they were not able to really survive the tower damage. They just got cleared instantly.
Oh no, this is really bad if they are able to secure this Elder now.
Yeah, TPP is really not in a position to contest. They do have the Sauce and the Leona nearby, and that's about all they're going to have.
Oh, they're going to steal the Malphite ult. So this is it. This is Wyke's highlight play. If he's going to go ahead and make the case for the best mid laner, this is how you do it. And he will! He will steal it with the Malphite ultimate.
Elder steal for TPP. The second game in a row where this happens, and you gotta feel for New York on this one.
New York loses both Elder Dragons at both crucial points of the game. This was potentially a comeback route for them as well. And now this super far ahead TPP will have 4 Elder Drake as Solomon isn't able to smite it at all.
Really just an unfortunate break. a lot of damage going into the Elder, and if your focus is just a little off, that things like that can happen. So by no means is that a gimme, you know. Well done for kudos to White for getting the steal, and Solomon is
Here we
probably not
go.
going
Mr.
to answer that,
Machizo's
but
in a really bad spot again, and he will just pay the price.
yeah, doesn't ult out, doesn't have the ult, so it's just going to end up dying, and it's now 4v5, pushing down bot lane to get the last standing inhibitor turret.
And now Ezreal's sort of doing some damage. You know, he has the Divine, he has Shurelius, he has the Man Immune. Interesting to see what he goes next as well, as now Ezreal is going to go ahead and get ulted by the Sylas, or will whiff. But I think it was just a zoning ultimate, you know, a warning shot. Akshan ult is immediately going onto Sylas and will not break Poppy's shield.
No, TPP still has a lot of meaningful ultimates, the Jarvan into the Leona ult, as well as the Xyle to keep herself safe. They can definitely still look to keep pressuring.
This
Cheeseman
is
does have the
exactly
Malphite ult.
where the fight has to happen here. This is the defense of the inhibitor tower. That's a nice little cleanse onto Hextech. Scaling Circle is going to immediately get engaged on, but that's the Silas Malphite ult is there. Scaling Circle will swallow, but one Elder Dragon has claimed one. Another Elder Dragon has claimed another. Hot Dog Bloodblade trying his best here to do it. Hextech will go ahead and do it. He helps secure it, and the Elder Dragon will not kill him.
That's
And
a
in a
defense.
fit of greatness, New York Mutants have defended the game again.
Okay, it's hard to say what really went wrong there. TPP got a lot of things going in their favor. They got the Silas Malphite ult onto 3 members of New York, and they still weren't able to convert that into a team fight win. Akshan and Ezreal were able to free hit, and Mini Soko stayed alive long enough to get true damage onto at least a couple members of TPP.
Oh my god.
Bottom line is now Elder is gone. Baron is the next objective, spawning in 30 seconds. And, well, no one's really going to be there to rush it. TPP is running it back onto the map. New York needs to take their resets. Hectex probably has a lot of gold to spend after that fight. And New York has to push out waves.
There's the Chemtech Purifier. Or
We have to keep an eye on that
Chainsword, sorry.
That one word in the base. If TPP wants to backdoor, they're going to have to escort a wave, seeing as both Nexus turrets are still standing. There's got to be waves in both top and bot, but neither inhib is taken, so they're not going to be super minions.
Okay, here we go. Solomon Khan can't secure the Elder Dragons, but he can secure the Barons.
Seemingly, that seems to be the trend of the series. We'll see what ends up happening.
They are going to go ahead and start it. If they secure this Baron, this game is over.
Ezreal gives vision for a split second.
This is another dance that happened last game. We're playing the vision game, dancing around the rivers. Akshan is on the side. They're going to go ahead and try and clear as much as they can.
Kaylene's almost half HP.
They won't start it. That's Hot Dog. He has the Malphite ultimate. Solomon is instantly going to get re-engaged on. He is gone. Mini Soko is now alone to stand. Huge Malphite ultimate that was able to try and save as much as he can, but it won't be enough as Silas will help confirm it. Hextech, you are not the savior this time. Quadra kill. That kill for ISO Square. Welcome to the club, buddy. As he will secure it with the Xayah, and the game is finally over.
Yeah, unfortunately.
36 minutes into this game, TPP will 3-0 New York Mutants and put a commanding victory back on the schedule. Say that last week was just a fluke. Welcome back, TPP.
What a game. Good series. Got the crying Amumu standing out. Not a ghoul when the Nexus exploded, so not really what I was expecting. But still a good series. Both teams played well. TPP executed more cleanly. And that was just the bottom line.
That was good. League of Legends. I feel really bad for New York Mutants. They really put up a huge effort in TPP. I really feel as if they tried their absolute hardest. And, I think they keep their chins up. It was really unfortunate. You look for next week when you're against LLW. LLW did recently just lose, so maybe you could try and take a series off them as well. But New York Mutants do go against Rev and do go against, and actually do have a bye last week. So this is going to be really huge telling of what they can do right now. As now I will go ahead and update the standings. It is 11-4. I don't think TPP and GCA have played yet as well, so TPP will go to third. So I have to go ahead and update the standings as well as everything here. I think we can go ahead and call this series very well deserved on the side of TPP. Do think they were the better team here.
Definitely played
Still,
well.
the smites, are questionable, but the Elder Steals are really what secured them those victories as well. Because I think if New York Mutants were able to get that smite game 2, they would have won the game. And then game 3, maybe if they got the Elder secure, they could hold off for a little bit longer. Max 4 more minutes, maybe have a miracle play happen where they ace them instead and, really come out ahead. But I don't know for sure. I do know for sure now, though, that it is over. And now, can't really see the damage charts, Jazz. Do you mind moving the OBS? Thank you. So yeah, as much as I expected, Silas and Zaya doing the most damage in the game. Pretty much not even close to anybody else other than Ezreal. Probably Max doing around 33k damage. Silas doing 42k. Zaya doing 40k.
Yeah,
which is really good for them. I do
quite a
think
lot
that they really performed this series as well, especially game 3 for Wyke as well. Game 1 and 2, while I did think he performed adamantly, it was just a better overall team performance. And then game 3 was the Wyke performance as well, even though Zaya did get the pentacle, and I want to congratulate Isa Square. Welcome to the club officially, my friend. It is wonderful to have you here in the Pentacle Club. I do want to see how New York will respond next week as well. I hope they don't get truly saddened by this loss. I think they are a good team. I think they should just keep their heads up high.
Definitely, New York should not go away from the series thinking that that all is lost. I mean, they played against one of the best teams in the league, and TPP is one of the teams who dress very well around what their comp wants to do. So every game of the series, TPP had a very obvious draft of what they want to do. I don't want to say obvious, but clear. It was clear to find what they wanted to do, and all their champs really worked towards that, and all their players understood their roles within the comp. And I think that's just something New York has to work on. They just need a draft. They had great ideas. The Alawi R5 was really good. Certain picks that they had just really played well into TPP, especially in game 2. Game 2 was the biggest showing of this, but they just didn't tie it together. And a part of that is not having nobody. Obviously, they did have a sub with Mr. Machisimo, but they shouldn't be dejected after this game. They should just take what they learned from it and try and translate it to a win in the rest of the regular season and definitely in playoffs.
Yeah, I do think that sub for the support was a huge factor as well, but I do think that even then, maybe it's a 2-1 instead of a 3-0. I still think TPP, in my heart, still wins the series as well. And I think that was really important for them. So TPP returns to form. Go ahead and put last week down as a fluke, as TKK are the Kingslayers. Beating TPP and beating LLW as well, so good on them. as I've been invited to a ranked flex. Okay. I don't think I'm going to join it yet because I am still here with you, my good friend. And I don't know if much will happen now. I think tomorrow we are having a dual series. It is War versus Rev and Tad versus GCC. Tad versus GCC is the reschedule, so it will get less priority. And War versus Rev is the main game of that day, so it will get main priority for streaming. I may be casting that game. Not exactly sure. Most likely, yes, because Mikey always asks me like 20 minutes, 30 minutes beforehand, hey, do you mind doing me a solid? And then just, kicking me onto the cast. Which I don't mind at all. And I really think we watched some good League of Legends today. I think New York Community rewatches the film, see what they possibly could have done differently as well. But yeah, I think kudos to TPP. They really performed.
Banger series.
Banger series. Even though the score says 3-0, it was very, very much a banger series. I don't think the score here is indicative of what really happened. All right.
There are a lot of moments of be proud of.
I agree. Okay. Thank you all very much for watching. ELU, another game, is in the history books. We are in week 6. Join us tomorrow. Same time, EST. We are going to go ahead and have a nice series of games lined up for you. I have been your host with the most, Mr. Nitrodex, and I'm just, of course, joined lovely by my Among Us sussy jungler.
That's me.
That's him. Thank you all for everything. Have a good night.